doubles. Has been playing with Hayden Patrickin and has had some success. So it's just fun to see that. Great to see that.
0-3, go. Point.
And then we have, as we mentioned, Lacey Schneeman, who's in Redondo Beach, California, 26 years old. And Zach Taylor in LA, 30 years old. Oh, such a nice spot there from Schneeman. And you mentioned, you know these two a little bit better here in SoCal, obviously. So, fun fact, you told me Zach Taylor is a model.
Yes.
Like an actual real-life Zoolander model.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was on I think we'll say failed reality show, Boy Bands.
Boy Band,
that was on
he's a singer.
for a season. So he's trying to be a triple threat here. Oh, we got a ball situation here.
Yeah, Zach, great player. He's just coming into pickleball. He teaches pickleball up in Beverly Hills. You know, it's rough, I'm sure, up there.
What a tough life.
But really doing a great job coming into the sport.
Yeah, I mean, every pro player that everyone knows and loves was once an unknown player coming up through the ranks.
Absolutely, yeah.
Making
Zach's
a name
been
for
playing a lot of
themselves,
5-0. We actually played in a couple tournaments recently against each other, and he and Lacey just won a 5-0 tournament last weekend, big tournament. And so they have some confidence going into this, and they had a big win over DJ Young and Maggie Brasha in 3 games. So that's going to help the confidence there. Lacey, I loved her game. She came up for a live ball session, not for a lesson, just to play.
Oh, tries to get out of the way, but clips the paddle.
And just a very smooth player. I just love the style of play that she had, and so I'm excited to see her have this success.
3-4-1.
Yeah, and right now they have the lead by 1 point here over Lauren Stratman and Julian Arnold.
So keep an eye out when the ball goes wide to Zach's backhand. He will attack the middle, and he does it very, very well. I'm curious to see how he does with that. There we go, the first on Diamo.
Yep. I really love that Julian Arnold is a very fiery player, as everyone I think that knows him or has seen him play know. But he's also like a very respectful player. Good sportsmanship.
Yes.
There's some players, you know, they're very fiery and they don't have that other side. So I think he's got like a really good combination.
Quick. He just did it right now. He's quick to clap with his paddle for his opponents, whether he's up or down. Absolutely. ATP, there it is. Yeah, I think sometimes people misinterpret his fieriness and, you know, yelling for, you know, trying to get his opponent's head, but he's not like that at all. Great sportsmanship, great guy. He just tries to fire himself up, tries to fire his partner up, never against his opponent.
4-4-1.
Very quick to compliment.
No, just one. Point.
I think, too, what happens is the more established players, Lauren Stratman, clearly the veteran on the court in terms of pickleball years. But when they see new players like Lacey and Zach, they've never played them before.
Right.
They don't know their game. They don't know what to expect. It can take them a while to figure it out, and it gives them some trouble.
Yeah, and if this was maybe a first-round match, maybe you could think Julian and Lauren could take them for granted, being that they don't recognize the names. But knowing that this is a quarterfinal match, right? So they know they've had to. Obviously, they just beat DJ and Maggie.
Yeah.
So
Good
they know.
team.
Okay, we have to take them seriously. This is not just somebody who is, you know, testing out playing pro. This is somebody who's capable of getting some great wins. So they're not going to take this lightly. You know, by any means. And so, I look for. I think it's going to be a great match. Obviously, it's We got a little bit of a lead here from Stratman and Arnold. They're going to try to keep their foot on the gas pedal here, but
They are our number 3 seed here today, while Schneemann and Taylor the 22 seed. So definitely already a really great result for Schneemann and Taylor being here in the quarterfinals.
Absolutely.
Of course, if they don't come out on top of this match, they're still alive in it. So we'll see how this plays out, but it seems like Stratman and Arnold perhaps starting to get into a little groove here in game 1. We'll see, like you mentioned, if they can keep that going here and extend this lead possibly into game 2.
Yeah, there's an element, I think, for Taylor and Schneemann, as they would say, they're kind of playing with house money, right? They've gotten further than maybe other people would expect them, and so I want to see them play aggressive and not hold back. They have nothing to lose. There we go. That's what you want to see. You want to see aggressive play. Julian and Lauren are not going to give you anything, so you got to earn it.
Again, there's
The
there's
disbelief.
a bit of a breeze. My skirt is Marilyn Monroeing over here behind the bench, but it's okay. It's a tennis skirt, so nobody's going to see anything. But a little breeze on the court as well.
Nice defense. Yep. Great job. Good fight there by Schneemann and Taylor, but just too much from Arnold, doing a great job of keeping them back, not being overly aggressive.
Eight, 4-1.
Some really nice defense right now. Oh, that's so tough. You get yourself back into it, and then you're almost too excited.
Yep. Yeah, we see that a lot in pickleball, right? You get a lot of saves, and then the first ball you get that you can semi-attack, you kind of overhit it, because sometimes just the excitement of getting back in that point.
Yeah, so winner of this match heads to the semis. They will face Georgia Johnson and Dylan Frazier. I can see Frazier courtside under the umbrella, getting a little snack right now. But next up here on... Oh, yeah, that was a little low.
Yeah, just overreaching
Next
there by
here
Taylor.
on championship court, we'll have Lee Whitwell and J.W. Johnson taking on
that'll be
Paris
fun.
Todd and Alex Newman
That'll
in
be
our
fun.
first semifinal of the day.
Point and first game, 11-4.
All right, so Stratman and Arnold were indeed able to keep the foot on the gas here in game 1, take it 11-4. Let's see if Schneemann and Taylor can now kind of talk and see what they need to do here in the second game to make it a little bit more competitive, try and force that third game, but we'll take a short break into the action right after this. Adam, what's your last name? Adam McKinnon, our USA Pickleball Certified referee, getting us back into the action here in game number 2 in this quarterfinal matchup.
Game number 2.
Looking to fill the final slot in the semifinals. Lauren Stratman and Julian Arnold on the near end now. They take on Lacey Schneeman and Zach Taylor on the far end. Stratman and Arnold a little slow of a start in game 1, facing a team they have not seen before, but found their groove and rhythm, taking game 1 11-4. Can they do the same here in game 2, or will Schneeman and Taylor give them some trouble? It's tough. Arnold tries to warn Stratman to watch that, but that's what happens. Sometimes you get those net cords and it actually rolls the ball out for a perfect ATP attempt, which it did there. Taylor taking advantage. Oh, just.
Good job by Taylor to get out of the way of that.
I know. That was, I'm surprised he didn't hit that. I thought that was going to drop in possibly.
Great setups there by Schneeman. Taylor was in the right spot, just missing with that forehand.
And I'm sure as a coach, you see and talk about this all the time, but especially teams like Schneeman and Taylor, that they're now dipping their toe into the pro, brackets. We talk so much consistency is what kind of really separates these teams at this level.
Yeah, exactly. ATP, too easy. Yeah, too much from Taylor. He's upset at himself.
So again, Schneeman, Taylor, they'll get that. That comes with reps from experience, playing these top-level teams that have been around a little bit longer. A lot of times, all the skills are there, the talent is there. It's just a matter of kind of harnessing it in the right way and being able to do it at the right moments.
Right. Yeah, it's what, a little bit of what they call tournament toughness, right? Just the mental side of it. Of not letting, the example right there, right? Just a ball that he would normally make, but not letting the moment get too big for you. Being, in your center court, this is being streamed. You know everyone's watching. You're excited for that. But it can...
extra level of pressure.
Yeah, you have to kind of block that out and not think about the fact that people are watching or any of that. You just have to just zero in on your match as if it was in the backyard or in your club, the way you would play there. And I haven't seen Zach as aggressive as I know he can be, because I've been playing with him quite a bit the last few weeks. And as I mentioned, that backhand speed up that he has is very effective, but I haven't seen him use it very much. I think he's a little hesitant right now.
Yeah.
Want to see him just trust his skills a little more.
Oh.
Point. Can we get some help with the ball?
Get the ball. There's a ball out there.
Yeah. Tough for the players to go back behind those barriers, so we need
no way to get out.
3-3-2.
They're right in this right now, tied up.
Point.
I love players like Arnold that talk very loudly to themselves.
Yes, you don't have to wonder what they're thinking. They're telling you. They think out loud. So right there, we saw Taylor hit 3 dinks. We see it here on the replay. Normally, the way Taylor's been playing recently, he would rip that ball up the middle, and he's just maybe just a tad hesitant. Also, he had Lauren on the cross court, so
it's a tough person to be facing.
There it is. There it is. I mean, Julian read it well, but that's the ball that Taylor usually attacks, and he tried it that time. It didn't work.
4-4-1.
And then I think, too, is a helpful thing for Stratman and Arnold is the anticipation. We talked about that in the previous match. They've been playing longer. You just kind of learn at the pro level kind of how the game flows.
Yeah.
You know, kind of what shots to expect, what to look for. Stratman, the perfect
Great speed
example
up.
there,
Great
right up the
speed up.
middle.
Yeah, just too wide, yeah. I think I heard Zach say keep giving it to him, just going way too wide with that dink, and Julian is not going to miss that ball.
The other thing that's so tough is when you're across from a player like Julian Arnold who gets so fired up and is screaming and yelling, that it can be intimidating. He's not doing it to intimidate the opponent, but it rattles you a little. It shakes you because you're just like, oh my gosh, like he's so fired up. He's feeling it so much. And we have a timeout here from Schneemann and Taylor. As a result, again, they're kind of getting stuck at that 4, trying to get few more points than they got in game 1, but as we've seen, Lauren and Julian right now, they are feeling good.
Right.
They're playing the game they want to play.
Yeah, they were tied up at 4, right? It was very close, and all of a sudden you see Arnold and Stratman just rattle off 4 points so quick, and so good job by Taylor to call him that timeout, kind of slow things down a little bit.
What should they be talking about in this timeout?
I mean, I think right now, so 11-4, 8-4. You don't hold back. You have to be aggressive, especially against a team like this right now. Like Arnold and Stratman, they have the momentum, and so you want to be smart. Obviously, you're not going to attack balls you shouldn't attack, but you have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose, so don't hold back.
8-4-2.
Ooh. Arnold was right behind Stratman.
Right.
He was going to follow her into that Ernie. Oh.
You know, Stratman was looking for that Ernie. Taylor's not typically going to go up that line. He likes going over that middle, and that's what he tried. Hit the tape, but that's what he tried to do.
Julian Arnold, a tennis player from UCLA.
Yep. I'm sure we'll see him in the singles. I think he's in the singles. I don't know, but I'm sure.
I would assume so.
He's a great singles player. Yeah.
Stratman, also a college tennis player. She got her degree in kinesiology. Also did a little low-level pro circuit in Europe, dabbling with some professional tennis possibly, but ultimately did not go that route.
5-9-2.
Nice job there from Taylor.
Yep.
Really stayed engaged in whatever shot was coming next.
6-9-2.
Yeah, Julian Arnold, somebody who brings a lot of energy, but also feeds off the energy. He loves being on center court. He loves the energy of the crowd. He loves being on, on the live stream. That only helps his game. Whereas maybe for Schneemann Taylor, just, it's a big moment,
it's new.
big
It's a
team.
new
Yes.
experience.
Yep.
But, matches like this, you put it in the
Absolutely.
bank of your experience and learning and,
Yep.
Have some film to go back and watch.
Was just going to say that there's great.
Oh, what a dig from Stratton.
Almost pulls that off. Yeah, that being on the center court, it's fun obviously to be on there and know that people can watch and all that. But the ability to be able to go back and watch it at a high quality like this, where you can really see what you did right. And what you did wrong, right? So the adjustments that you need to make, which points, you could have played differently. So it's great for them. I think it's a great experience. Not that we're counting them out already, but it's just they're certainly down quite a bit.
Yeah, we mentioned it in the beginning. These new teams, you might not see them. You might not, they were already doing such a great job. 7-10 here, coming back in game 2. But they have all the talent there. It's just a matter of execution at this level. And they are certainly still in this. Oh, interesting. Stratman, I thought, had time to adjust to that, but
yeah, just almost didn't quite see how the ball was coming off that tape.
Nice pickups there from
Great
Schneemann.
resets.
Yeah, that's tough. It's always the reset, I feel like, that'll get you.
Yeah, she got the first couple, right? Those were off the bounce, and the next one was out of the air, was a little different. We got a match point.
And we're going to have a second and final timeout from Schneemann and Taylor. Really nicely done. This is what I had wished that Wright and Tioni had done in the previous match, is use those timeouts.
Yep.
You might feel like your back's up against the wall. Maybe, you're not going to be able to turn the tides in your favor, but at least try.
Right.
Take a break. Try and slow your opponent down. Try and not let them stay in this momentum groove that they have going on.
Right. Even, and sometimes I think players hesitate to call timeout because maybe they think a timeout is only to discuss strategy, and maybe they don't have an answer for what's going on. A timeout can simply be to stop momentum.
Yeah, you don't have to talk at all.
It's a weapon that you have. Use it. It's in your bag. No reason to keep it in there. If for no other reason to stop momentum, you don't even have to talk if you don't have much to talk about, if you don't know what you need to do differently.
Grab a drink. Just resettle yourself. Settle yourself.
Exactly.
Calm yourself. Get ready to face the next point. The match point. Oh, Arnold wanted it.
Yep.
But they have a second opportunity here to head to the semifinals. Wow,
great job.
Schneemann and Taylor did such a great job on that rally, staying in there. Some really nice shots. They played very well in this match. They should be very proud of themselves. They're not done, though.
Right.
They dropped to our consolation bracket. We'll see if they can do some damage there. But Lauren Stratman and Julian Arnold head to the semis, where they will face Georgia Johnson and Dylan Frazier. But our first semifinal is coming up next. Lee Whitwell and J.W. Johnson take on Paris Todd and Alex Newman. That's coming up right after this. The APP SoCal Classic is brought to you by Pickleball Central, the Pickleball Superstore, catering from beginners to pros. Yola, for the champion in you. SunMed, the official CBD sponsor of the APP. And Chavile, modern pickleball apparel that reminds people to be civil and play nicely.
ready for next gen.
This is Next Gen Pickleball.
I'm so ready for the Next Gen Tour.
Super excited about next gen.
I can't wait for the APP Next Gen Tour.
I'm super excited for next gen.
If you like to dink, then Pickleball Magazine has what you're looking for. Our bi-monthly print publication will help you become a better player with instructional tips, drills, and articles from the top teaching pros in the sport. And you'll become a healthier, stronger player with psychological, nutritional, and wellness advice from experts in their fields. Finally, if it's product reviews or the latest news, we have that too. To learn more or to subscribe today, go to pickleballmagazine.com.
Welcome back to the Franklin studio, everyone. Lauren McLaughlin here with Lauren Stratman and Julian Arnold, who are heading to the semifinals. You guys now have a few tournaments together under your belt. Do you feel like each time gets a little bit easier? You guys just have a flow a little bit better every time you're playing together?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think it's definitely getting easier, and we're knowing each other's games better. So, yeah, and we spend a lot of time together, so it's nice to get to play together on the court.
Since you do spend a lot of time together, obviously off court as well, do you feel like you have to talk too much about strategy, gameplay coming into tournaments, or do you just kind of know what each other wants to do at this point?
I think we discuss a little bit more during practice, just trying to work certain things out and certain strategies out and game plans. But when it comes to match time, I think we try to keep it a little bit more simplified, just not trying to cloud our mind with too much, and just go out there and execute a solid game plan. So,
I like that. And I think the most important question everyone has is, how do you guys determine the outfit coordination every tournament?
Well, Julian has every single color known to man, so it's usually dependent on what I have. So I had white and navy left today. It's what we went with.
I love it.
I figured that since Matt and Lucy aren't here, we could take their outfit and rock it pretty good. So.
I love it. I'm just like the dark between the light right here. So
There you go.
it's nice. All right. Well, congrats. We'll see you guys in the semifinals, and hopefully a good rest of the day for you too. Our first semifinal up next here at the SoCal Classic right after this.
If SoCal has you wondering, where do I begin? Start here. Cheering for the visiting team? Here's your line of scrimmage. Come for a culinary odyssey? Tonight's special is everything. Here for work? Hang around for the weekend. Hit 3 theme parks. Crush coffees or crafty beers or whatever strikes your fancy. Because with friendly locals, Main Street vibes, easy accommodations, and all of SoCal within reach, no matter what you've come to get up to, in El Segundo, we'll invite you to start here.
Welcome back to our first semifinal match here in Pro Mixed Doubles at the APP SoCal Classic. Lauren McLaughlin and Daniel Roditi here courtside bringing you all the action. Pickleball TV rocking our production here this weekend as well. Spencer Laurent and Mitch DeVoe. A gigantic German Shepherd that's very fluffy just walked by and distracted me. I'm so sorry. So we already saw Alex Newman and Paris Todd in our first match of the day. So let's quickly focus on their opponents, Lee Whitwell and J.W. Johnson. Johnson, 19 years old, out of Delray Beach, Florida. Foregoed the traditional college experience and is focusing on pickleball pro time, but he did dabble with tennis being hopefully his career choice. Went to a tennis academy in Florida for his high school education. Kind of COVID and the pandemic kind of threw that off and opened the door to this pickleball possibility, which he ultimately decided to go with versus the tennis route. So we're certainly glad to have him. His partner, Lee Whitwell, 47 years old, originally from Bend, Oregon, now splits her time between the Villages in Florida and Austin, Texas at Dreamland, where she does a lot of work for Duper, MLP, all of that great stuff going on there. She played her college tennis at Francis Marion University in South Carolina, where she was a 2-time national champion back-to-back in D2 and also was inducted into their school's Athletic Hall of Fame. And she also played volleyball in college, which I don't think we talk about very much, but played 2 years of college volleyball as well. Dabbled a little in professional tennis, originally from Gibraltar. And then their opponents that we saw earlier today, Alex Newman and Paris Todd, first-time partners here today, both 24 years old. Alex Newman went to Northwestern University in Chicago, where he was on the tennis team as a practice player, so not a full member of that team, but played some tennis there, where he majored in political science and gender equality studies. Paris Todd did not play college tennis because she went pro at 14, so had some good success there, created her own fashion line, Wasted USA, at the age of 19. It's a bit of a lifestyle brand, I'd say, so a lot of times people are like, why isn't she wearing her stuff? She doesn't make pickleball clothes or tennis clothes. So
not yet. Maybe she will.
Yeah, she'll branch out, I have to imagine, but these two teams facing off for the first time here today in our first semifinal. Peggy Friesner is our USA Pickleball Certified Referee. Okay, Lee Whitwell.
Yep. First time I saw Lee play was right here, actually. She was playing with AJ Kohler last year and had a great run, and I didn't know who she was. And she's become a fan favorite with her humor.
She's not too bad of a pickleball player either.
Yeah, I was about to say I didn't want to talk over the point, but yeah, certainly a great pickleball player. Loves to look for those ernies with her lefty forehand. She's not shy about making fun of herself when she goes right through the kitchen when she's attempting those.
It's the Whitwell walkway.
Yep. Oh, that stays in.
Lee Whitwell, I could see the eye roll from her after she lets this go. She was gonna hit it, pulls off, and easily drops in. And you can see her not happy about that decision.
Yeah, nice backhand roll there.
Whitwell and Johnson are the #1 seeded team here today for Pro Mixed Doubles at the APP SoCal Classic. And as I was talking to Paris and Alex in their after-match interview earlier, this is only the second tournament that Alex Newman has ever played mixed doubles.
Yes, he was just telling me that. He's saying he's just learning how to adjust, and it is an adjustment. And as I said before, certainly harder for women, but it's an adjustment for the guys to learn to be way more aggressive than you tend to be in men's doubles.
I think I was just surprised it was only his second because I see him so much, but I guess he's playing men's and singles and hasn't been playing a lot of mix, which I didn't realize. But he said he got his first ever mixed doubles win earlier this morning with Paris, so he's having fun here.
Yeah, and it's hard for guys coming in. There are, I think, based on number, there are more men players than there are women, and so it's always hard to find a mixed up. So a lot of times when guys are coming in, they'll play a lot of singles, men's, until they kind of make their way up the ranks and you know, can find a solid mixed doubles partner. Which I would say Paris is more than that.
Absolutely.
More than just a solid mixed doubles partner. But for herself, she's making the adjustment in doubles and clearly has done a great job making already a deep run here.
Yeah, winner of this match heads to the winner bracket final, which means they have a guaranteed place on the podium. Our other semifinalists set, Georgia Johnson and Dylan Frazier take on Lauren Stratman and Julian Arnold. So a lot of times, Whitwell, or the female in general, you're going to see them targeted a lot more.
Right.
I think in this case, you know, Alex Newman, a little newer to the game, he might actually be targeted a little bit more than Paris because I think everyone knows Paris can certainly hold her own out there.
Yep.
But definitely Lee is getting a lot of drives at her, getting picked on a little, so even more important that she's able to execute the way she wants to.
Yeah, that was an out ball. I think
might have a paddle change.
JW trying to call her off of that ball.
Yep, so she's going to change paddles after taking a bite out of the previous one.
Yeah.
Let's see if that pink edge guard gives her a little oomph she's looking for here. Nice dig from Todd. Oh,
stays
so
in.
good. Whitwell.
Yeah, she was looking for that Ernie a little bit. See how far she is on that right side. And right there, she's thinking he's going to go at her body. Instead, he goes middle.
Yeah, he's kind of floated that up there. Yeah, just watch. Whitwell gives Johnson so much room to work with. She just kind of plants herself over on that right side.
Yeah, that time, right? But the kind of the shot that she was looking for. Yeah, she kind of slid to her right. Anticipate, of course, coming from a different angle that time, and so she knew there was a pretty good chance that's where Newman was going to go. Newman, sorry. Yeah, a little confusion there.
All right, so
Oh.
Whitwell is saying the ball bounced, which
Yep.
that one
clearly
did.
bounced.
Oh.
And that's where she got called, but
Here we go. 191.
See, that's where I don't know how to do it exactly. I'm not the expert, but those are the moments that I think the ref should be able to ask us. We can see it.
Right.
We have the replay. That's, a question of whether the ball bounced or not. We should be able to tell them.
right.
And we can't at this stage. But I do think, the replay ability in the booth, what we're able to see, should start coming into the game a little bit more.
Yeah, we got a game point here. I mean, that's
This is unexpected. This is
definitely
an unexpected. First game.
Second serve.
Good ball there by Whitwell going behind Newman.
10-1-2.
Well, they take game
That
one.
is going to be game one. So that is a very disappointing start to this semifinal match for Whitwell and Johnson. I have no doubt they can turn it around
Yep.
here in game two. They're the number one seeded team, both incredible players. We'll see if they can do that or if Todd and Newman can get a bit of an upset here in this semifinal match. We're back into the action right after this. Welcome back into the action here for game number two in this mixed pro doubles semifinal match. Paris Todd and Alex Newman with all the momentum here in this match after taking game one 11-1 over Lee Whitwell and J.W. Johnson. I mean, look at the confidence that they're coming out here with in game two, and I would expect nothing less.
Yeah, they're feeling good. And especially taking game one 11-1. It's such a great confidence builder
and
for them.
They're doing a great job keeping it away from J.W. Johnson because he is always going to be, no matter the team he's playing on, no matter his partner, he's the one that you got to watch out for.
Right.
I mean, he's easily, top 2 player in the world right now for men's. And right now, I think Whitwell is really feeling the pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think for Newman and Todd, it becomes more of a mental thing of wait here. Sometimes when you're beating somebody that you're quote unquote not supposed to beat, it can get in your head of like, oh, I'm sure they're going to come back. I'm sure they're going to come back, and it can kind of play games with your mind. So I think the mental toughness here of believing they can win this is huge.
Honestly, a little surprised they're not targeting Newman more. Not that he's not a great player, but Paris has proven
Yeah.
time and time again, tournament after tournament, how deadly she can be.
Sure.
And I think it'd be interesting to see if they kind of force Newman to prove himself a little bit more. There's J.W. Johnson.
Yeah.
Ball getting held up a little bit by the wind right now.
Yeah, I think for Johnson and Whitwell, it's just staying calm, knowing that, okay, we can make a run. We know we've been here before. We've done this many times.
Yeah, and as we know in pickleball, it's truly not over until it's over.
Right.
We've seen teams come back from 10-0 multiple times. So
Right.
I think we're digging the ball out from behind our banners at the back here.
And almost reach under it, yeah.
Making her work for it over there. But certainly Whitwell and Johnson can get back in here like that. They're only down by 2 right now.
Right.
You know, get a couple points, get a little hot. And I think if Johnson inserts himself a little bit more like he has been doing, that alleviates some of the pressure from Whitwell and she can play more confidently
Right.
and loosely,
Yep.
which I think we're starting to see here now. Nice
Wow.
pickups.
Great resets.
Ooh, that was a nice angle there from Newman. Ooh.
Nice resets. That's too high.
Oh,
Way too
oh,
high.
oh, that ball almost up into the Chivile
Yeah,
VIP balcony.
The second deck.
4-4-2.
All tied up now.
Yeah, that's what's. I always find it a little funny because Johnson sometimes. I see him play a lot. He plays a lot, obviously. And like we saw in game one, he didn't insert himself a lot. He kind of just let game one happen and either wasn't able to insert himself or just kind of didn't. And it's like, so we didn't win game one. And then you go into game two,
Yep.
and then it's like,
Timeout.
oh, we're still not able to be getting ahead. Like, okay, I'm going to turn it up a notch.
Right.
And he did, and look at them now, pulling ahead now to 2. So it's, I almost wonder where were you in game one? Like,
Yeah, and
you
I think-
turned up the heat immediately.
Yeah, and I think a little bit could be, obviously I don't know, I can't read his mind, haven't talked to him about this, but, you know, there's an element of like, I trust my partner, we're
Yeah,
good,
absolutely.
we should win this match.
And
then it
he
gets
is very
away,
laid back.
and it gets away from you pretty fast. I mean, that first game was so quick. And then we see it right there, down 4-0, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 now they're up 6-4. And I think that's the thing now. Again, the mental aspect of it is going to be huge for Todd and Newman. Now that for the first time they're feeling the pressure, right?
Yep.
They kind of won the first one easily, 4-0 in the second, and all of a sudden now they're down 6-4 for the first time. So we'll see how they adjust. See if they continue to be aggressive as they have been, or if they get a little more tentative.
Yeah, it's a tough spot for Todd and Newman to be in right now because they know how dangerous Johnson and Whitwell can be when they're feeling good, which they are right now. And that causes some errors on you. You press it a little bit.
Yep.
You pull back on things you should be a little bit more confident in. So I I certainly expect we could see a game 3 here in this match.
Yeah, any ball like that, it's just Johnson's so good. He flicks his wrist like no one else does, and he can generate so much power with basically no backswing. Yeah, that was a good job. I was surprised it went to Johnson there as much as they did. I know you obviously want to keep the guy honest, but he wasn't coming over that much in that point. They need to keep going to Whitwell, I think, until
absolutely.
he starts coming over. Then you go behind him.
Yeah, I think you got to make J.W. Johnson work for it. Can't just give him the shots.
Like that one right there. I think Paris was in a good place there. Todd was in a good place there going cross-court with Whitwell. She should have stayed with that because Johnson wasn't moving, so you weren't going to catch him.
Net cord, but keeps it in.
Yeah, stays in.
It's a nice break there for Todd and Newman. They needed it as the second game was starting to creep away, but trying to battle back here. Ooh. Paris, Todd, come on.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, there was a
A
stare
little
down
bit of a
from
stare
Whitwell.
from Whitwell. Let's see this on the replay.
God, what a just great point. This dig from Todd right there. Oh no, we missed the Ernie.
Oh, standing on the wrong side.
Oh, that is a really tough break at this stage. And you get a side out as a result. Oh, and I'm sorry, was that a point?
Yeah, it's a point.
I'm sorry,
yeah,
excuse
so
me.
that gives him game point. Yeah,
Oh,
timeout.
yeah, that's
timeout.
tough. And perfect timeout. Perfect timeout there for Todd and Newman.
Yep.
That last rally was crazy.
And then you're standing in the wrong side.
Yeah, and then, so you got it. Clearly, they just need to reset,
Right.
refocus. And we do see them talking a lot. Again, we talk brand new partnership for those two. So they're still trying to work things out and figure things out. But I think Johnson and Whitwell just, you have off games.
Right.
Game one just, they weren't there.
Right, and Newman and Todd
happen.
played it perfectly,
Yeah.
right? So that you just go, okay, they played well. We made some errors. We're good. And that's the experience, right? That's a tournament experience from not just playing a lot of tournaments, but played a lot of tournaments together. And so they know they can quickly get back into this. We got game point for Whitwell and Johnson.
Whitwell getting aggressive there. Poach there in the middle.
Yeah, trying to close it out.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to take advantage of their momentum, but Newman was ready.
Nice recovery from Newman. Big hold there for Todd and Newman. They needed to get that ball back and try and possibly avoid this third game. all they need, a couple
Yep.
good rallies, maybe an error from Whitwell or Johnson, and they are right back in this second game.
Yeah, good job by Whitwell. That ball by Newman just a little too high. She's able to knock that thing down at Todd's feet. Error there on the return.
That's what they need.
Yep.
That is exactly what they need.
You need some freebies to get back into this, especially when you're down that much, and just 3 points away.
Yeah, so you watch Johnson, he barely crosses over that center line.
A little stare from Whitwell right there.
Oh, what a really
Almost
nice
as
rally.
to say, what are you trying to do? What are you trying
she
to
was
do?
like, I was here. I was here. You didn't have it. But, oh, tough way to end that rally, and back to a game point here for Whitwell and Johnson. And that'll do it. So game three, first game three of the day here on Championship Court is coming your way here at the APP SoCal Classic in the semifinal match. Winner bracket final spot on the line. Back into it right after this. Back to the action here for our first game three of the day on Championship Court. It is our first semifinal match here in Pro Mixed Doubles. Lee Whitwell and J.W. Johnson on the near end. To start this third game, they take on Paris Todd and Alex Newman. On the far end, they'll switch ends at 6 here in this third game, and one of these teams head to the winner bracket final. Todd and Newman did some damage in game one, taking advantage of Whitwell and Johnson being just a little off, taking game one 11-1, but Johnson and Whitwell found their groove in game two, ultimately staying out in front, forcing this third game. Peggy Friesner, again, our USA Pickleball Certified referee for this match. Johnson just a little impatient there.
1-2-1.
Definitely not happy with himself. Look at that top spin roll from this
Well,
kid.
it's so
My
much pace
goodness.
without really any swing.
look
It's
at
just
how-
flicks it.
That windshield wiper of a paddle. Just fundamentals so good. I mean, speaking of fundamentals, I'm pretty sure Paris Todd has some of the best in the business as well. Showing them off right there. We'll have our second semifinal match up next. Lauren Stratman and Julian Arnold take on Georgia Johnson and Dylan Frazier after the conclusion of this match. All right, that is called wide here on this ATP
Let's
from
see.
Lee.
It's hard to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Newman's blocking it. It's hard to see it from our
That's tough.
angle.
He's right on top of it, yeah.
But both called it pretty quick. So Whitwell not sure that was the right call, but if
3-2-2. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It seems whoever is on that far side's got a little bit of wind into their face. It's kind of holding up their shots a little bit.
yeah, just too much from Johnson there.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think, gosh, I
That's
think
a highlight
Newman.
reel for
I think
Whitwell
Newman
right
didn't
there.
realize how far back Todd was on that, and
Yeah,
otherwise he
lots
would
to
have
go.
taken that ball. We see right here, he didn't realize how far back she slid.
Yeah. Ugh, what a block from Whitwell, though.
Amazing. Oh, we get an all day baby from Whitwell.
Yeah, and Johnson can indeed do that all day long if you give him the opportunity. He loves to set himself up for his own little shake and bake. Speed it up, force you to pop it up a little, and then next shot usually not coming back.
Yeah, that was a good hard dink there from Todd. Very aggressive with that topspin. Whitwell trying to redirect it, just too much. Oh, there it is. We get the fist bump.
We got the whole
We get the wink.
crowd.
We get it all.
I mean,
We've seen that in some highlights from some MLP stuff. She's not afraid to rip it past the guys. Yeah, just telling herself she's overreaching there. Should have let that ball bounce.
yeah, Whitwell struggles every so often when she tries to switch up the cross-court dink into the straight up.
Yep.
Leaving it a little low into the net.
Second serve. 3-5-2.
Oof, nice pickup.
Let's go! Oh!
I mean, she's getting the crowd going.
Get a big yell from Whitwell.
She is getting fired up, and built-in timeout here as our team switch ends. Whitwell and Johnson get to that 6-point first in a big show of emotion, and I think a perfect built-in timeout for Todd and Newman as they need to throw a little cold water. More than happy to take on those duties, and right now they are looking at a spot in the winter bracket final.
Yeah, and a little update in the back draw consolation bracket. Etta Wright and Pesatione, who we saw play here on center court, took down DJ Young and Maggie Brasha 15-12. And on the other side, Bright and Ignatovic took down Mary Brasha and Rob Cassidy 15-12. Same score.
All right. And as a reminder, we're playing all the way through to our gold medal matches each day of our tournament here. And we head to Los Angeles next weekend for our second SoCal swing tournament.
That'll be a lot of fun. Missed return there.
And we're going to be in El Segundo for that tournament. Very close to the ocean as well. Nice attack from Newman.
You know, one of the things that it does for Whitwell, constantly looking for that Ernie, it's not so much as she's anticipating the ball there, but it forces her opponent to put the ball more in the middle where Johnson can come over. So that's also part of the strategy.
Takes a weird bounce, a bit of a miss hit there for Newman.
5-6-2.
So Todd and Newman back within one, but side out gives Whitwell and Johnson an opportunity to extend this lead.
Yeah, this is a great show of mental toughness from Todd and Newman, fighting to keep this close after losing that second one.
Todd doing her best to keep Newman fired up, as errors like that at this stage of the game can be a little defeating. We're going to have a timeout here from Todd and Newman fairly quickly after the end change is now Whitwell and Johnson pulling away here, 8-5. Speaking of the LA Open, Daniel, what do you think my favorite memory is from last year's tournament that has to do with you?
I don't know.
It was you diving on the court and having blood gushing down your arm.
Yeah, that happened here too.
Just gushing down your arm. And you were like not even going to stop. You're like, let's go, let's keep playing. Like you dove all over the court. This was in singles, mind you. You were a crazy person. It was like my favorite ever.
Yeah.
I feel like you almost like took off one of your tattoos.
I actually did.
I actually did. Do you have a scar?
A little bit of the tattoo missing right there.
Yeah, that's from last year's LA Open. That's how much Daniel Roditti
Yeah, that's why I'm in the booth
pickleball.
this year.
No more blood. He lost enough blood.
Actually, very bittersweet this year not getting to play these tournaments, but love to be in the booth. Oh, good job there by Whitwell, doing looks like a half Ernie, straddling that kitchen corner, able to reach with her forehand.
Nice attack there from Johnson, and that's going to get them a
match
match point.
Timeout's been called by the receiving team. The score is 10-5-1.
Yeah, this very bittersweet for me being here in the booth. This was the very first tournament I ever played, 2013, and it's always been kind of a favorite because it was my first tournament. So I've played it every year, except of course COVID. But first time not playing this tournament. Great facility, but next best thing is being in the booth.
I know, we still
being
gotta
in here
get
with you and Mr. Ken Herman, and so just love being able to be a part of it if I can't play or choose not to play because getting old. It's great watching these guys.
Age gets us all, Daniel.
Yes,
Gets us
yes, it certainly has gotten me. But great being here watching these incredible players.
Yeah, let's see if Whitwell and Johnson can get the job done. Ugh.
Oh, good catch,
Good
but
hands
it's not
there
going to
from
do it.
Alex Newman, but wrong one, unfortunately, and a great match. Really well played on both sides. Todd and Newman not done yet. They dropped to the consolation bracket, but Lee Whitwell and J.W. Johnson have secured themselves a spot in the winter bracket final. And on the podium, our second semifinal match is coming up next. Lauren Stratman and Julian Arnold take on Georgia Johnson and Dylan Frazier. That is coming up right after this.
If you like to dink, then Pickleball Magazine has what you're looking for. Our bi-monthly print publication will help you become a better player with instructional tips, drills, and articles from the top teaching pros in the sport. And you'll become a healthier, stronger player with psychological, nutritional, and wellness advice from experts in their fields. Finally, if it's product reviews or the latest news, we have that too. To learn more or to subscribe today, go to pickleballmagazine.com.
Welcome back to the Franklin studio. Lauren McLaughlin here with Lee Whitwell and J.W. Johnson, who are heading to our winter bracket final. We know in pickleball, every game totally different, a new opportunity. What was going on in game one that just wasn't working for you guys?
You know, it's our first time playing together, so in that first game, new partnership. It took us a little while to figure out, you know, who was going to be the aggressor. And then in game 2 and 3, I figured, you know, let JW take the reins, and you know, we figured it out finally. Thank God.
You guys talked a lot and figured it out.
We talked and we figured it out, and he's like, you know what, Lee's like, I think I should be the aggressor. I'm like, I agree. So
Good.
You know,
I like
new
that.
partnership
Yeah, you got to
happens.
figure it out. You got to work out the chemistry. JW, you've had a busy few weeks. You guys were both at MLP, of course. as you keep grinding, you keep working. You're only 19 years old, but does it kind of start to wear down your body a little bit? Do you need a break here and there?
Every once in a while, yes. Other than that, not really, because then I'll just get bored at the house and then drive everyone crazy. So not too much of a break.
That makes sense. So you don't know who you're facing, but you're into that winner bracket. You guys, as you mentioned, brand new partnership, so just figuring it out, seeing what works. What do you guys talk about coming into tournaments, since you should know pretty well what you guys need to do by now? Is it much different?
I mean, we talked about, like, there were some random people at the beach the other day. We were just talking about them, and then where we're going to dinner and things like that. Really great tactical things. We're always troubleshooting and tactically trying to figure out, hey, let's do this, let's do that. So, and we have fun, and
always
he makes fun.
You
of
have a rather infamous video that took place here at Bobby Riggs last year that made the rounds online a lot. Are you trying to make sure that gets wiped from people's memories?
Absolutely. I need.
You were rocking it out this one.
I need JW to make the infamous mural this year.
Done. You, and especially your sister Georgia, who we're going to see next, you guys have been really ramping up the social media presence, trying to get some more videos out there. Basically just how much do you love creating content for social media?
Oh, it's great. I love it. I do it. Try to do it every second of the day. Obviously, we don't post everything, so that's good. But maybe in the future we'll post as much as we as we should. We'll see.
I want to see some of the outtakes.
Right?
I want to see some of the blooper reel.
Absolutely.
Blooper reel.
Are the best.
Yeah, well, probably not too many of those. Those aren't the greatest.
He's perfect every time. There are no blooper reels. All right, well, congratulations. You guys are into the winter bracket final. We'll see you there, and we'll see who they face after the semifinal, right after this.
Hi, Mom. Yeah, always.
The APP SoCal Classic is brought to you by Pickleball Central, the Pickleball Superstore, catering from beginners to pros. Yola, for the champion in you. SunMed, the official CBD sponsor of the APP. And Chavile, modern pickleball apparel that reminds people to be civil and play nicely.
If SoCal has you wondering, where do I begin? Start here. Cheering for the visiting team? Here's your line of scrimmage. Come for a culinary odyssey? Tonight's special is everything. Here for work? Hang around for the weekend. Hit 3 theme parks. Crush coffees or crafty beers or whatever strikes your fancy. Because with friendly locals, Main Street vibes, easy accommodations, and all of SoCal within reach, no matter what you've come to get up to, in El Segundo, we'll invite you to start here.
Welcome back, everyone, to our second semifinal match of the day, here to determine who is going to take on Lee Whitwell and J.W. Johnson in the winner bracket final. We have sister Georgia Johnson now looking to take on her brother in that winner bracket final. Let's see if her and partner Dylan Frazier can get the job done. They're on the near end here for game one. They take on Lauren Stratman and Julian Arnold on the far end. This is the number 2 and 3 seeded teams. Oh, nice effort there from Arnold, but Stratman just cannot cover the entire court after he gets pulled off. Lauren McLaughlin and Daniel Roditi here in the booth for our Pro Mixed Doubles Day at the SoCal Classic. Again, here at the historic Bobby Riggs Tennis and Racket Center in Encinitas, California, just north of San Diego. And while Georgia Johnson and Dylan Frazier know each other very well, I don't know if this is their first time playing together.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I was just thinking about that. I don't remember seeing them playing together.
I think
would
it might
think
be.
they have, but I don't know.
I know. You think that because you see them so often.
Right.
But I don't think they have.
And, of course, Dylan plays quite a bit with JW.
Mhm.
And so maybe that's part of why it makes us think that we would expect that, but I'm not sure.
Georgia Johnson is 15 years old in Delray Beach, Florida. I believe she is homeschooled.
I think that's right.
Dylan Frazier. It's obviously summertime now, but he's going to be a junior at the University of Missouri, where he is studying accounting in the fall. I always find it so impressive, these young people that are playing a professional sport basically every weekend, but then they're going to classes in person.
Yeah.
They're doing their schoolwork. I couldn't even imagine back when I was in college trying to do, I mean, I played sports in college, but not that I had to travel for everywhere.
Right.
It was like part of school.
Just missing wide there.
Dylan Frazier, 20 years old.
Georgia was there with that forehand, just not what she wanted to do with it. Yeah. Good job by good job by Arnold, just recognizing Frazier's in that transition zone and being able to get that ball down at his feet.
What are your thoughts on, in sports specifically, how important it is to kind of have a person that has a bit more of a fiery personality that can kind of be the, ramp up the team, get them going, versus a team like, I mean, Georgia Johnson's a little bit more fiery than JW, her brother, of course, but Dylan very low key. So the two of them together, just kind of low key of a team. Do you think that hinders versus, not having anyone to really be kind of like the hype man of the team?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it can work either way because you have Dylan pairing up with JW quite a bit, and they do great, right? And no one's going to say either one of them is fiery, right?
Definitely not.
They're more on the calm, mellow side, but it works for them because that's just kind of what they do well. That's who they are, and.
So maybe just more team chemistry.
Exactly.
Versus,
I think that's more important because sometimes you have two fiery players and they do great together, and then other times you have two more calm players and they do great together. So I think it's all really, if it mixes well, whatever the combo is.
I like it.
I think more than the fire, it's just recognizing when a partner needs someone really positive
that's what I was just
and just
thinking.
giving a lot of feedback.
Like
you're
me as a
doing
player,
great.
I need a partner that can I love it. I want to be hype me up, get me going. That works well for me to receive that energy.
Right.
So I think it's more what your partner needs.
Yeah, I saw an example. I'm not going to share names, but I saw an example in a previous match where certainly one in the mix, this is mixed pro, obviously, one of the players was kind of down and you could see it, and the partner really needed to be, the male partner in this case, really needed to be a lot more positive.
Yeah.
And not even that they were being negative, but sometimes nothing can be interpreted as negative.
Yeah.
And so I could see it from the outside. I so badly wanted to jump in there and be like, don't you see that she needs encouragement? But, so I think that's more important, right? Recognizing what does my partner need from me right now? Do I need to be quiet? Sometimes people need you to be quiet. They don't need you to be talking to them all the time. Or do they need me to encourage them, build them up, give them some feedback?
So coming in from a timeout here from Stratman and Arnold as they are trying to not let Frazier and Johnson get too far away, and they have a good result with a side out here and their chance to try and close the gap a little. Julian Arnold was a one-man team over there during that rally. Frazier and Johnson both taking it to him there.
Yeah, Arnold frustrated with himself there, thinking that ball was going to go out, and he just caught it too late, couldn't do much with it. Yeah, great drive by Johnson there. The ball's so low.
Seems like Stratman, we've seen in the past, she can be one of those players that can get down on herself a little bit too much.
Yep.
And I'm sure Julian knows that very well, so it'll be really important for him to make sure and be very supportive and get her headspace in the right place and make sure she stays engaged.
Perfect example, because she can be fiery, but she could also get very down quickly because she's emotional. She needs lots of positivity when things aren't going well. Like right there, you could see her hanging her head.
Yeah.
And him
Body
just needing to be like, it's okay, don't worry, we'll get the next one. And I tell you, no matter what level you play, whether you don't ever play tournaments and you play rec and you play at a 3-0 or below level, or you play pro, it's, no, wait, after this. Yeah, the ball's just out. Recognizing everybody can be a great partner.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a great level player. You could be a great partner by the way you treat your partner, the way you encourage.
Yeah, I mean, we all know those people at Open Play that no one wants to play with because they're a terrible partner.
It drives me crazy
bad
as a
attitude,
coach.
Bad,
yeah, it drives
you
me
know?
crazy as a coach because you have total control over that, what
Yep.
kind of partner you are.
Oh, nice dig there from Johnson. Oh,
Yeah. Almost hit him in the face with that toss.
I think he would have bounced back.
Yeah, I think he would have been all right.
Oh, no. Did you hear how Lawrence said
Got
that?
it.
Got it.
Got it. Get out of my court.
Julian.
Julian.
I have to imagine that's where a little bit of the off-court relationship can seep
Sure,
into the
sure.
on-court.
Thought we weren't allowed to talk about off-court relations.
I mean, everybody knows. They talk about it. I'm just alluding. It's a reference.
Yeah, and I think that's if you're in a new partnership, and I'll wait until after this point. I want to give a little tip to the viewers, especially if you're a tournament player.
Oh, nice recovery.
If you're in a new partnership, especially playing a tournament, ask your partner, what do you need from me from a mental, emotional standpoint?
Yeah.
Do you like somebody talking to you? Some players want to be left alone.
Yeah.
Some players do better if they're not being talked to all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But unless you know that, sometimes you interpret silence as they're upset with me.
Mm-hmm.
And so those are conversations you can have before the tournament. It's like, hey, when you're upset, what do you need from me?
Yeah, because we talk a lot about talking about strategy
Yeah.
or gameplay, but you're 100% correct. What do you need from me emotionally,
Yes,
mentally on the
exactly.
court? Because that's equally,
Huge
if
part of
maybe,
it.
if not more important.
Exactly. And some players will say, you know what, when I'm upset, I'm okay. Just leave. You don't have to talk to me.
Yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
all right. I'll bounce back.
Mm-hmm.
Others need some encouragement. So it's an easy thing to fix before the tournament.
All right, so we have a game point here for Georgia Johnson and Dylan Frazier in game one. And they are going to get it done. So, game one goes to Johnson and Frazier, 11-4. We'll be back with game number two shortly, and I have no doubt Stratman and Arnold are going to find a little bit more success, perhaps, going into the second game. So we're back into it right after this.
If SoCal has you wondering, where do I begin? Start here. Cheering for the visiting team? Here's your line of scrimmage. Come for a culinary odyssey? Tonight's special is everything. Here for work? Hang around for the weekend. Hit 3 theme parks. Crush coffees or crafty beers or whatever strikes your fancy. Because with friendly locals, Main Street vibes, easy accommodations, and all of SoCal within reach, no matter what you've come to get up to, in El Segundo, we'll invite you to start here.
If you like to dink, then Pickleball Magazine has what you're looking for. Our bi-monthly print publication will help you become a better player with instructional tips, drills, and articles from the top teaching pros in the sport. And you'll become a healthier, stronger player with psychological, nutritional, and wellness advice from experts in their fields. Finally, if it's product reviews or the latest news, we have that too. To learn more or to subscribe today, go to pickleballmagazine.com.
Welcome back for game number 2 here in our second semifinal matchup here in Pro Mixed Doubles at the APP SoCal Classic. Lauren Stratman and Julian Arnold on the near end. For game 2, they take on Georgia Johnson and Dylan Frazier, who took game 1 11-4. Looked like a lot of chatting was going on between Stratman and Arnold in between games 1 and 2, so we'll see if we can kind of notice any things they might have talked about and tried to work on here coming into game 2 to change the outcome.
Yeah, I think their chemistry on the court right now is going to be key. Just overhearing their exchange in that changeover, it's going to be crucial for them getting back into this match.
And that can be the tough thing, as we were talking about, you know, when you have 2 emotional players,
yes,
it can work so well, and then sometimes it can work really badly, if especially both players are kind of down.
Yes.
Because then they can't pick each other up. Oh my goodness. They have to win this now. And they do. Wow. Julian Arnold is coming out of nowhere with that pickup. Frazier sent scrambling.
Great job by Arnold recognizing Frazier coming over. Does a good job going behind him and just ends up losing that exchange. But it was well played. Just unfortunate for him there making that mistake at the end.
Okay,
oh,
Georgia
there we go.
Johnson.
There we go. We see you, Georgia.
Yeah,
we see you.
Do me a thing, girl. I love when she poaches. It comes out of nowhere, and she's just so
Don't
dominant
expect
there.
it, right? And then it's
That's why it's so effective.
Catches them off guard.
All right, so Arnold getting vocal now, saying let's fight. So again, he's trying to turn it up now to get the 2 of them fired up.
Yeah, he left that shot way too early. He tried to slide to his right side after hitting that ball, anticipating a comeback, but yep. Good job. Stratman just getting out of the way enough just to let that ball sail. That ball misses long, and we had a wind just picking up exactly as Stratman was hitting that serve.
Yeah, that's the tough spot. We're so close to the ocean.
Bad timing.
That breeze can just pick up out of nowhere. Oh, that one Stratman cannot get out of the way of.
Although I don't know if it was going out. With all this wind, I think that was going to hold it up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so.
He didn't hit that very hard.
Good try. You just rubbing it in that we're a mile away from the ocean here for all the viewers.
Yes, I'm trying to make everyone jealous.
We're suffering out here, guys.
California,
Yeah.
The wind in my hair. It is going to be an absolutely gorgeous weekend here. It's like 70 degrees, breeze.
Hey, it's a tough job, but someone's got to do it.
Right?
Someone's got to be here.
Really, really falling on the sword for you guys at home. All right, Arnold. about the net cords, and we have a timeout here from Stratman and Arnold. Stratman very aggressively calling that timeout. I think she could tell Arnold was getting a little. What are your thoughts about that? When you see players get so upset about net cords, which I get it, super frustrating, but there's literally nothing you can do about it. What would you tell someone that just loses their mind about net cords and like they're coming to get you and they take it personally?
Right.
How do you not
I
do that?
think it's either let cords or just mistakes. It's forget it, move on, let's get the next one. Nothing we can do about that. I think that's key in helping your partner get into a more positive, whether they just made an easy error, meaning they had maybe a put away and they put it into the net, something they wouldn't normally do, is communicating, you got the next one. That's your shot. That's what I try to tell my partners. That's your shot. You got this. No problem. Let's move on.
Everyone got to see that little love fest there from Rob Cassidy and Nick Pedersen up there under the umbrella. Love is in the air in SoCal. Stratman has that. She set herself up perfectly, and it just seemed like her reaction time was just a hair too slow.
Yeah, looked like just mistimed it a little bit. Was a little late on it. Yeah, good job by Arnold so early, anticipating the speed up, knowing it was coming from a low spot and just getting out of the way long before he even, saw the ball being hit. That's experience. Again, same
nice
thing.
job. And I think Stratman and Arnold, I wonder if in that timeout they kind of talked about it, but I would love to see them wait for the right moment to speed up and then get that sequence going instead of rush the speed up, forcing one that's not there. Like, just be patient and steady until you see one that is a for sure green light.
Yep.
And otherwise, just kind of stay calm because the errors that I'm seeing from them seem to be coming off an impatient speed up.
Right. In that last one, Lauren had that high backhand, attacked. Wait till after this point here. What I like to tell my partners, I tell them, I like it.
Yeah.
That was the right shot.
Yeah,
I like
exactly.
it. They made a
It didn't
mistake,
happen
but
that
I
time,
like
but
you going for that shot.
Yeah, the idea is there.
Because part of it is you're dealing with, I don't want to disappoint my partner, right? So if your partner is like, hey, I like it, I like you going for that, then it just reinforces you to stay aggressive, or, that you've made the right call.
Yeah, and I think, too, I forgot what I was going to say. It just was gone.
I'm
like
sure
it was there, and then it was just
really good. It's coming back.
Flittered away.
Hey, you got this.
Thank you. Ooh, that's what it was. You got it. You got me back. It's no one's going to have 100% execution. You're not going to be perfect, so you're going to miss shots, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't try that again, because you're right. It's the right shot. It was the right time. Just didn't work, and it's not going to 100% of the time.
And no one feels worse than the person that just made the error, right?
So that is the match. New game, same outcome here. Johnson and Frazier on top, 11-4 in game 2. They head to the winner bracket final, where siblings will face off against J.W. Johnson and Lee Whitwell. So we will have that, I believe, coming up shortly. We may have a feeder match in the meantime. Don't go anywhere, though. More action still to come here at the APP SoCal Classic right after this. Welcome back to the Franklin studio. Lauren McLaughlin here with Dylan Frazier and Georgia Johnson. You're headed to the winter bracket final where you take on brother and Lee Whitwell, good friends to you both. That last matchup, you're facing Lauren Stratman, Julian Arnold. They're both very fiery players, can get very emotional, really aggressive. They can get hot. It seems like you guys were able to keep them pretty cool. What was the thought process to make sure they didn't run away with it?
Well, I think, all Dylan's yelling really cooled their jets, but, I think we just stayed consistent and played our game and opposed to feeding into theirs. So.
It's true. You were getting a lot of stare downs out there, a lot of smart talk. I could hear from you in between the points, under your breath, as always. But you are a calm player, not too emotional on the court. Do you feel like it keeps you even keeled, able to kind of play your game without letting the emotions play too much of a factor?
Yeah, I think so. I feel like there's not quite as many ups and downs when you're not an emotional player. Lauren and Julian are both great players. Like I told Georgia before that second game, we gotta make sure that we stay on these guys because they're just a team that can get hot really fast and it can be over in a second. So we stayed on them. Georgia played great. I just kind of dropped the ball from the baseline, then Georgia just finished the point. So she made my life pretty easy, and it was a good match. Looking forward to the next one.
So you take on, of course, Lee and JW.
Yes.
I have no doubt, as I have a brother as well, that you would like to destroy him anytime you guys play together, because that's just how siblings go. But you know him. You know him very well. You know Lee's game very well. What's it going to take for you guys to beat them in that winter bracket final?
It's going to take a good game, playing good by all four players, and I'm excited for the matchup.
We are excited as well. It's going to be great. I'd like to see you just really run that mouth like we're used to seeing you.
I might, since we're playing against JW.
That's true. You guys like to have little exchanges. I see you guys. Well, that is coming up in just a little bit, but don't go anywhere. More mixed pro doubles here at the SoCal Classic coming up after this. Welcome back. We have a consolation bracket match here to play before our winner bracket final at the SoCal Classic. We have seen both these teams already here today, though, on center court. We have Lacey Schneeman and Zach Taylor taking on Paris Todd and Alex Newman. Schneeman and Taylor were knocked down into our consolation bracket earlier than Todd and Newman were. They had to take down Susanna Barr and Matt Goebel, 15-2, as you mentioned earlier, Daniel. And then they defeated Jachiva and Johnson.
Yep.
15-0.
Yes.
So that was a pretty decisive victory. So now both these teams will face off. This is the first consolation bracket match for Todd and Newman after getting knocked down here by J.W. Johnson and Lee Whitwell in that semifinal we just saw a couple matches ago. So both these teams looking to stay alive here. Just a few matches in that back draw still to go to find out who is going to get back to that bronze medal match. We also have Lauren Stratman and Julian Arnold, who are going to take on Anna Bright and James Ignatowicz on the back draw side as well to try and get back in here. So this is going to be a match to 15. Our teams will switch ends at 8. And again, it's do or die time for both of these teams. Marie Creed will be our USA Pickleball certified referee. So we have new update on Zach Taylor,
Yes.
who, if you missed it earlier, you didn't see them play, Zach Taylor in the blue shirt from Los Angeles, 30 years old. Let's go down his resume. He's a model.
Yes.
He was on a very short-lived reality show called Boy Band.
Right.
So he's a singer.
Yes.
And he also was in the top 48 in one of the seasons of American Idol.
Yeah, made it to Hollywood.
I mean, this kid just...
Yeah. Yeah,
I love it.
His resume is very similar to mine, except very opposite. So,
Except none of
yeah,
the
they're
same
not-
things.
Not a
We
model.
basically had the
not a
same
singer.
life path, only none of
You
the
just
things were the same.
Flip it, yes. You just complete opposite of that.
I was like, where are you going with this, Daniel? I was like,
Yeah.
what modeling did you do?
Yeah,
Can we
no,
look this
nothing.
up back in the 80s? You were like a
You
top
know what?
model. I love
Okay,
it.
I'll let everybody know.
Yes.
I did some hand modeling before.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
always felt like I could be a good hand model. I think I have nice hands. No one's
I
come
don't.
calling, though.
I don't. Yeah, I don't.
His partner, Lacey Schneeman, 26 years old, also in SoCal out of Redondo Beach. And they take on Alex Newman and Paris Todd, who we've seen a couple times already on championship court here today. Both 24 years old. First-time partnership for the two of them. We mentioned a little earlier as well that Schneeman and Taylor have been doing really well at the 5-0 level. They've played a lot of tournaments,
Yep.
been successful there, and just kind of dipping their toe now into the pro bracket, as most players do if you want to continue to get better. You know,
Right.
after 5-0, there's only pro at this point.
Yep.
As there's opinions out there that there should be like a 5-5 category as well, which, I could get on board with.
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, so we'll see, but right now it's 5-0 pro. So
Right.
they're having a lot of success here today. They've had some really good wins, some really good matches. And we saw in the last match here on championship court, definitely, it was their first time ever playing probably on a live stream at one of the big tours. And
Yeah.
so it's an extra level of kind of pressure and attention. So
Right.
they played well, but definitely, I'm sure, fell short of what they were hoping to accomplish in that match. So let's see here if facing off against Paris Todd and Alex Newman will get them a good result. I expect a good match regardless of which
Yep.
way this goes.
Yeah, I spoke to Zach a little bit. I've just gotten to know him in the last several weeks just because we've been kind of playing some local tournaments against each other and have seen each other a few times, gotten to know him a little bit. And we spoke about his last match, and I just told him I just felt like you weren't quite as aggressive as you normally are. You kind of held back a little bit, I think, and he agreed with that. Also, of course, Julian Arnold being so mobile and kind of all over the place sort of made Zach a little more hesitant. But let's see if they make the adjustment. Obviously, they won easily this last game, and so I'd love to see all four players come out and play their best. That's what we want to see. Well, ATP attempt there by Schneemann. Well wide. Maybe didn't quite have the angle I could see from where I am right now.
You mentioned Lauren Stratman and Julian Arnold are who knocked them down. 11-4, 11-8 in that matchup.
Second serve. Zero, zero, two. Side out. 0-0-1. Second serve.
We've mentioned before watching Todd and Newman play.
0-0-2.
Second tournament ever that Alex Newman has played mixed doubles. Not pro mixed doubles, just mixed
Just
doubles.
any mixed doubles.
So, you know, they have some stuff that they're working out.
Yeah, we just saw that right there, right? He comes over. She's ready to hit the backhand. He's coming over trying to be aggressive. And just a little miscommunication there. Both kind of swinging at the ball.
Yes.
But he's
1-0-2.
he's a very, we said a bit frantic of a player earlier. Just very kind of all over the place. Very mobile as well.
Right. I think when you come into mix, you know, you hear so much, be aggressive, be aggressive, be aggressive. And so sometimes it's gauging how much is too much.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of that depends on your partner as well.
Exactly, exactly. Oh, just a great ATP there by Zach Taylor. The dink by Todd just a little too wide. He's able to get around that post. Good deep return. Taylor trying to call Schneemann off that ball, but she's able to put it away, so it's all good.
1-1-1. Second serve. One, two.
Yeah, there's that backhand speed up from Taylor that I was mentioning before that he didn't try too many times. I think the one time he tried it, Arnold kind of jumped all over it. And he tried it that time. It didn't quite go his way. I'd like to see him mix it up. I'd like to see him take that same ball and sometimes go up the line, sometimes roll across court, and sometimes go middle so that it gives his opponents more to think about.
Yeah, variety is the spice of life, they say. Got to have variety in the shots.
Yeah, you can have your go-to that you know you can always go to that ball, but you have to have at least one other shot you hit from the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great put away by Schneemann. Just so much pace on that ball.
And she made sure to keep Todd back. Not allow her to get up too close, have to keep resetting. It's tough to keep those resets down. Oh, I wanted Todd to just stay engaged. Just take that two.
Agreed.
It works out, but you're there. You just hit the first two shots. It's right there to keep going.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
we
that's probably
see
the
some
difference.
players do that and some don't.
Yeah, that's the difference between sometimes women's doubles and mixed doubles, right? You just kind of let your partner have those. But that is definitely something that I just played a doubles tournament. My partner said, whoever starts it, continue it.
Yeah, especially
'cause you're in rhythm.
if it's in
Yeah, it's
your
right there.
realm.
Yes, absolutely.
Like Alex was staying back. He was giving her the room to do it. Again, this is just one match to 15. We'll switch ends at 8. Both these teams looking to stay alive. Someone will be done for the day after this.
And great run by both teams, regardless of the outcome here. That's been a very, very good positive run for both of these teams. But someone's going to move on, obviously, and someone is done for the day. The ball just sails long.
I like the attempt there.
Yep,
For
just
the Ernie there from Taylor.
Yeah, I think Todd just didn't give him much to work with on that. So great job by her, keeping the ball nice and low, just not really giving him anything he can attack on that Ernie.
Here's a question, Coach Daniel. Ernies, I would love to incorporate them into my game, but I have no idea how to start even attempting them.
Yeah.
Or like the mechanics, and I always feel like I'm so short, like my legs are too little to like jump the kitchen.
Sure.
Is it like a slide around the side? Like how do you suggest people that don't Ernie but would like to start attempting them?
Yeah, I think, anytime you get that, angles play a big part, so, and then anticipation. What do you anticipate your opponent's going to do if you put the ball in that corner of the kitchen? Have they been going up the line quite a bit? Then that's a good time to guess and go for the Ernie. But the placement of your shot obviously has a lot to do with it. You got to get that ball close to that corner, and you basically have to start moving early, almost a little bit of a guessing game. But I would say that's the best way to do it. Yeah, good defense, but just too much from Newman there. I want to keep saying Neiman, sorry, Newman. Alex Newman there on that ball.
7-1-1.
Well in front here.
Yep, Todd and Newman picking up some steam here.
Yeah.
They're smiling, laughing, having a good time. So you can tell they're playing very confident. They're feeling confident right now. You can see it certainly in their body language. Nice hustle there from Newman.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Schneeman did a great job going behind Newman twice in a row, had him scrambling, and then just missed the ball that she would normally make, right? She played that perfectly right, just missed that last ball. The other thing about Ernie's, as you were asking, is there's a point in time when the player has to look down to hit that ball. That's the time to move.
Yes, when
So
they look
as
down
they look
on the
down
dink.
to hit that ball, that's when you make your move, because then they're less likely to see you. Doesn't mean they won't see you at all. Sometimes peripheral, they can kind of see you moving, but you have to be patient and wait for the right moment. So as soon as they look down to hit that ball, that's when you make your move, hoping, of course, they're pushing it up that line, up that sideline.
Yes, you are.
And, I think that's a part of that partner communication.
Right.
Is you have to know if your partner is someone that looks for Ernies, that wants to go for them, you have to cover them.
Yeah.
So if you're kind of just over on your side and all of a sudden your partner's gone because they tried an Ernie that they missed, you're like, oh no.
Exactly. Yeah.
I need to cover for you.
Right.
So
And we see that from JW and Lee,
Absolutely.
right, having played so much together.
8-1-2.
all right, so the end change has happened now with Alex Newman and Paris Todd out in front.
That's just, you have the wind at your back. That's not the time to lob. So it would have been when they were on the other end. You want to lob against the wind, not with the wind.
Well, think, too, probably I have to imagine Schneemann and Taylor they're getting a little pressed now because they know this is it. This is their only chance they have.
Yeah.
There's not another game to play, not another match.
Exactly.
So you're going to try and perhaps try to force some things that maybe aren't there as you get a little,
Yeah, you try some new stuff.
Wire.
Right, you try some new things. Taylor going for the lob, which he hasn't done yet, but it's the wrong end of the court to try it on because of the wind.
Nice spot there from Taylor, and definitely a big hole to dig themselves out of here, but let's see if they can't just get, a few points at a time. Just get a little something going, gain a little momentum. Yeah, I mean, that helps.
Yep.
Get some errors.
Newman feeling like he can, be aggressive since they have a big lead at some point. If Taylor and Schneemann start narrowing that gap, you probably won't see as much pressing there, but not pressing, but just being aggressive, being comfortable with that lead.
So the previous rally, Lacey Schneemann thought that serve was going to go long, and it looked like she almost wasn't prepared to hit it once it dropped in. And I would think, be prepared to hit it no matter what. You can call it out if it doesn't go in, but always be prepared to hit it.
Right. Yeah, I always tell my students, always assume the ball's going to be in.
Yeah.
Just assume meaning if you're waiting for the ball to bounce. Obviously,
yes,
on an out ball, you want to
look,
but assume it's going to be in so you get yourself in position. Yeah, good overhead there.
So we will have our winner bracket final coming up next. Lee Whitwell and J.W. Johnson take on Georgia Johnson and Dylan Frazier. So that is coming up following this.
Great volley by Schneemann. That was a tough ball to pick up. She does a great job of taking that ball out of the air, keeping it low, and not giving them a pop-up. Yeah, too much there. That forehand by Taylor just hangs a little too much.
Oh, yeah, you could see Todd was on her back.
Yeah, she went on her heels with that drive.
Yeah.
Obviously anticipating a hard ball at her body, but instead it clips the net and just barely dribbles over. Ooh, that was very close from Todd. You could almost call it interference there.
I literally was going to say, she said watch it right as she was about to hit it, which I get this telling your partner to watch it if a ball gets popped up.
Yeah.
But she said it
right
as Lacey was about to hit it.
Right. And I'm sure she didn't mean to interfere. It was just trying to alert your partner. But, it's right when you hit it, it's a good time to do it, but not when your opponent's hitting the ball. It could be called an interference and you lose a point.
I think that's the other thing, too, with newer players, especially at the pro level, like Schneemann and Taylor. They don't really think about calling that or even knowing that could be a call or to ask the ref. So I think that also comes with tournament time under your belt, that you start to recognize things a little bit more that are happening sort of on the edge of what's happening in the play.
Right. Yeah, it's part of that tournament experience, right? Knowing what the rules are, knowing what you can appeal or ask the ref about. Get a timeout called here from Schneemann and Taylor. Cassidy and
he's keeping Dylan Frazier nice and loose before his winner bracket final.
Exactly.
I mean, is anyone not having a good time talking to Rob Cassidy?
Exactly. Who doesn't love Mr. Cassidy?
Lee Whitwell's up in the Chevile VIP balcony, I see, talking to Gabriel Tardio.
Oh, yeah.
Also just enjoying her time up there.
Love
having
Gabriel.
Fun.
Love Gabriel, 16-year-old. got to watch him a lot at the Indy Open,
Yeah, he's
APP
great.
Indy Open, and just so fun to watch. He reminds me of my son. Maybe that's why I like him so much. But and just an incredible player today. They went 2-2 in their mixed, and he was a little unhappy with himself. But I told him, like, hey man, you got plenty of tournaments to come. You're good.
Yeah, you're good.
You're good.
So we got a match point here for Alex Newman and Paris Todd to stay alive here in our back draw.
Yeah, good job there by Schneemann. She was a little hesitant on her first 2 forehand volleys because she had just made 2 forehand volley errors previous. So you could see she was hesitant, but then it's good to see her get some confidence and attack the last 2. Try.
It's tough too. Schneemann and Taylor obviously know they have a mountain they need to climb here.
Yep.
It can be a bit daunting.
Yeah, and obviously it's very cliche, but you can only go one at a time. There's no 10-point points, you know.
Yeah.
Like
Unfortunately,
you have to. But you just think if we just apply a little bit of pressure, maybe you put some nerves on your opponent. But they have it side out, and it's over.
So Paris Todd and Alex Newman stay alive to fight one more match. A very well-played day for Zach Taylor and Lacey
Great
Schneemann,
run for them.
who I think probably are new faces and new names to many of you at home. So definitely put those names in your new faces to watch because they just had a fabulous day. I'm excited to see their growth as they hopefully play more pro tournaments. We will take a short break here at Bobby Riggs for the SoCal Classic. Our winner bracket final coming up right after this. back into the action here on Championship Court at the APP SoCal Classic here at Bobby Riggs. Lauren McLaughlin and Daniel Roditi courtside for our winner bracket final right now, which has siblings facing off and really just 4 really good friends on court here. We have Georgia Johnson and Dylan Frazier, who are taking on J.W. Johnson and Lee Whitwell. I suspect this will be a good match.
Yeah, let's hope
This is one of those matches you look at and you're just kind of think to yourself, I have no idea how this will go.
Right.
I don't know who's going to win. I don't know how they're going to win. And those are the best kind of matches. So, Peggy Frisner back with USA Pickleball Certified Ref duties. Georgia Johnson and Dylan Frazier on the near end. J.W. Johnson and Lee Whitwell on the far end. As we've mentioned, J.W. Johnson has also played in mixed with sister Georgia Johnson. They've had some really great results. They won their first gold medal together at the New York City Open.
Nice.
Very impressive for the two of them.
Yeah, I think they're teaming up maybe in L.A. possibly.
I believe they are, yes. And then, of course, J.W. Johnson also plays a lot with Dylan Frazier, as you mentioned. Lee Whitwell also plays a lot with Georgia Johnson in women's. So this is just a family affair here on court.
Yeah, I know it's not a favorite thing for the Johnsons to go against each other.
They'd probably rather be on the same side if they have to do it, but they're both very competitive, as I think all siblings are aware of. I will do a shameless plug for my podcast, Pickleball After Dark. I had a chance to chat with their mom, Julie Johnson, and she said it's always an interesting car ride home after they play each other.
Yes.
She said it's usually a worse car ride if JW loses. So tough there from Frazier. He's got exactly what he wants.
Right.
Just a little too down on that.
Yeah, we hosted a little event at Nellie Gale, a little round robin for some of the pros, and JW and Georgia were there. They had to go up against each other once or twice, and he said sometimes that doesn't go well on the home front.
Actually, it was this tournament last year that I really saw kind of Georgia Johnson for the first time. She had been playing a little bit in pro, but she just was starting to play a little bit more. And I remember, last year to this year, not the same place, not the same player.
Incredible difference. She played the LA Open. I don't know that she won even she played singles. And I don't think she won a match.
No, she definitely.
Now she's just, on a tear, winning a lot in singles and in doubles, of course, and mixed doubles.
Yeah, she just really hadn't quite tapped into her confidence and self-assuredness.
Yeah.
All right, so that ball is called out, I think.
It was a rare. She hit an ATP with her forehand
from the back. From the back. Corner.
Yes. You don't see that very often. And of course, her being a great, just having great sportsmanship, she wasn't sure if it landed it or not, so she didn't want to really say one way or the other.
Frazier being very aggressive. But it's very chivalrous of him to let Georgia Johnson finish that.
Yeah, that was the right call. She was set. She was ready. She's got a good backhand put away. Smart by him.
Second server.
Let's see the
4-5-2.
crowd up close and personal here at Bobby Riggs. Really nice setup for spectators to watch.
Johnson throws his arms up in the air, which is the equivalent of one of us cussing on the court.
He does that sometimes too.
Yes, he will show more emotion than people think, but
it's subtle. It's really
yes,
subtle.
Very,
if you
little
pay
eye
attention.
roll, little, yeah.
Oh.
Almost gets hit by.
I mean, how did she miss him? He had to suck it in.
Almost friendly fire there, getting hit by your own partner.
And then Whitwell up in the air, jumping in front of him. That was fun.
Second server.
Yeah, really? I mean, Whitwell, I think, has been playing longer than people realize.
Yeah.
Because she really sort of just made a big name for herself in the last, year and a half, 2 years.
Right.
But she's been playing longer than that, while these other three young people on the court truly have only been playing in the pro level, year. I think J.W. Johnson maybe year and a half
Yes.
to 2. So they're all relatively new players, but they're such household names now. I think we forget that.
Yep, I played JW here in singles last year, and I wouldn't dare step on the court with him now. It's just the difference between last year to now, not just in singles, in every categories, mixed and men's and men's singles. Just incredible progress that he's made. And just has figured out the game. Very smart, very cerebral, has obviously clearly studied the game so much, as has Georgia with his help and Julie's help. But the shots that he hits now, he didn't have them last year.
Yeah.
Dylan Frazier has that serve that I think we talked about a little bit in Mesa, where he's almost stepping on the court because he's leaning forward. His foot is just off still in the air when he strikes the ball, but certainly leaning forward when he hits that serve.
I think too, so Dylan Frazier doesn't have any racket sport background.
Right. No.
So he played, I think, baseball, a couple other sports, but nothing racket based. And while the Johnson family is very tennis oriented, Julie and Jack, their parents, very big tennis players, but Georgia Johnson, she's only 15. She hasn't lived long enough to have a big tennis background.
Yeah.
So she certainly played a little bit of tennis. Whitwell takes one to the body on that Ernie attempt.
Which is also a smart way to go when you know someone's looking for Ernie's. You hit it right at their body. Usually not expecting that.
So I mean, Georgia Johnson only 15, so she's played a little bit of tennis, but hasn't lived long enough.
Right.
So equally as impressive at such a young age that she's showing just such, athletic maturity.
Oh, ITP.
Yep.
Into the post. Not as effective. Yeah, not as effective as the ATP, but good try by her. Yeah, it's great to see. I'll wait till after this point. Great to see someone like Dylan, and I say this often, without a tennis background, you could still become a great pickleball player.
Absolutely.
You don't have to have a high level of tennis, although it can help in many ways. We see several examples of non-tennis or racket or paddle players come in and really do well.
Absolutely. So Whitwell and Johnson take a 1-point lead as we are nearing the conclusion of this first game.
I know a lot of viewers can get kind of discouraged because they don't have a tennis background, and they play against someone with a tennis background. They get kind of overpowered off the court. Oh, great shot by Frazier going behind Whitwell. Whitwell thinking that ball might sail, but lands in. Saw some excitement there from Georgia Johnson.
I can certainly hear Julian Arnold on a court close to us. Ooh.
I was just going to say that. Oh, she tags. Oh, tags Whitwell.
Yeah, Georgia Johnson.
Kind of on the backside there.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier. She can get real aggressive, kind of take over.
She's fearless. Yeah, that's an example of her trying to go for a ball that probably wasn't hers, but maybe was expecting a higher kind of pop-up ball that she could attack. Instead, she got a low one that probably should have let Frazier have.
Really nicely done. So Georgia Johnson and Dylan Frazier come out on top here in game one, 11-9. I did suspect this would be a close one going either way. So first game in the books. Game number 2 coming your way right after this. Game number 2 about to kick off here in our winner bracket final at the APP SoCal Classic. Lee Whitwell and J.W. Johnson now on the near end. Dylan Frazier and Georgia Johnson on the far end, and Johnson and Frazier take game 1 11-9. Let's see. Oh, that one's long from Johnson. And I have to imagine Georgia Johnson's got to be feeling pretty good. Beating Big Brother here.
Yep.
In game 1, let's see if they're able to close this out in 2, or will Whitwell and the other Johnson take him to 3?
Great move by
could
Frazier.
Go either way.
Yep, great move by Frazier. They're coming way over and being able to roll that ball up the middle.
Slide out. Zero, 1-1.
Oh, so good from Frazier.
He's got just a lot of wrist action. Both JW and Dylan, they strike the ball differently. Dylan doesn't roll it as much, whereas JW uses a lot more topspin. Dylan is more of a slap. Both very effective. So 2 different ways of hitting the ball, both effective. And again, for the viewers, you got to find the style that works for you. You got to find what works for you. You don't have to imitate somebody else unless it fits with your style.
Ooh.
It's one of the things that I love about pickleball is you see a lot of different styles on the court, and a lot of them can work. It's just finding what works for you. There's not one way to hit the ball. Good job by Whitwell going behind Frazier there with that backhand kind of poke up the sideline.
Again, this is our winner bracket final, so winner of this heads to the gold medal match. Loser will head to bronze, where we are still figuring out who's coming through the back draw to get into that bronze medal match. But either way, both these teams on the podium here in Pro Mixed Doubles. Going home with a little cash. Oh, nice get there from Whitwell.
Waiting for the results here between the Stratman, Arnold, Bright, Ignatovich. They are done. And I see
Bright and Ignatovich.
No, I saw Stratman
off.
and Arnold walk by.
Did they not look very happy?
They did not. So
ooh, I'm going to suspect then that Bright and Ignatovich won.
Ignatovich's way. But I don't know. I'm waiting for the update here on the draw.
Second server.
Yep, no update yet.
1, 2, 2.
The winner of that match will take on Todd and Newman.
Side out.
We may have that match coming up next before we get into that bronze medal match because we need that match.
Right, right. These teams will have to wait. So
I'll keep you guys posted as always. Oh, good attempt there at that recovery off the net cord there from Georgia Johnson. Then sends it a little wide.
3, 1, 1.
Again, Whitwell and Johnson need to win this second game to force a game 3. Hello, Georgia Johnson, with a little
nice.
kitchen step over there.
Little half Ernie going at Big Brother.
Side out. One, 3, 1. Second server. 1, 3, 2.
Nice hands there from Johnson. It's JW trying to light her up a little bit there.
2, 3, 2.
It's almost as if he was trying to send a message. Georgia sends her own message there.
Get a sorry, not sorry from baby sister there.
Yeah, what I really like, we talked earlier between Paris Todd and Alex Newman, where Paris seemed a little hesitant sometimes to kind of take over, deferring a little bit to Alex, where Georgia Johnson has no problem. She's like, Dylan, get out of my way. I'm taking over. So I appreciate that aggressiveness from her and confidence to be able to do that.
Side out. You have 4. 3, 4, 1.
Yep. Wow.
What was the score?
16-14 to Bright and Ignatovich.
Wow.
Is that how you say his last name?
Ignatovich.
Ignatovich.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right, so. Yeah, that's a tough loss there for Stratman and Arnold. This is the first time Brighton and Ignatowicz have played together in a tournament as well.
Yeah, they're two of the newer kind of stars, right, in the APP Tour.
I think people are looking forward to them playing together, as they also have an off-court time spent together. So I think people have been looking forward to this partnership, let's just say.
Okay, all right.
That's what the kids tell me, Daniel. I can only rely on my network of young people to tell me things.
Keep up with the kids. Too. Oh, almost.
Second server. Five, 3, 2.
A little talking to himself under his breath there from J.W. Johnson.
Yeah, not a ball he normally misses.
6, 3, 2.
Georgia Johnson and Dylan Frazier out in front again here in game 2. And I'll tell you right now, if what Julie Johnson told me is true, J.W. Johnson is not a happy camper right now. Because he doesn't like to lose, period, but I think Extra doesn't like to lose to Little Sister.
I would think that's true. And I actually was wondering how much it plays into how aggressive he is going against her. And maybe it doesn't make any difference, but normally probably he would like just really go after the female opponent, right? And I don't know if that, and maybe it doesn't really matter to him in that sense that he'll play the way he would play against anyone else, but there's a little nuance.
I think impossible to set aside a family relationship on the court. There is going to be small or great, some level of something that
especially
plays into the
when
way
part of the game plan is you got to go hard at the female opponent, you know, go at her body, try to hit her. Not that you're wanting to hurt anybody, but that's part of the game, and how much that plays a part, if any, in his mindset.
Side out. 7, 5, 1. Point. 8, 5, 1.
8-5-1. Oh. Good pickup by Whitwell, but just too high. Frazier able to put that ball away, but it was all set up by the drive.
I'd like to see a timeout here from Johnson and Whitwell, but
I'm
they,
surprised they haven't called it.
They as a partnership are sort of notorious for not calling timeouts when they should.
Wow, match point.
And I don't think we'll see one. They just, for whatever reason, I don't know why they don't call a timeout, but they just don't.
Ooh.
Second server.
That is a ball that usually Frazier is going to rifle at somebody, and he had what he wanted on match point, but they have another chance.
Good hold. Quick update from our senior pro mixed doubles bracket.
5, 10, 1.
Jennifer Dawson and Dave Weinbach are in the gold medal match after defeating Beth Bellamy and Rick Witskin in the winner bracket final.
Second server.
And it looks like they have a couple matches still to play, so Bellamy and Witskin will take on the winner of Cammie McGregor and John Sperling versus Shirley and Moore to get into that bronze medal match. So it looks like their bracket is winding to a close here soon.
10, 5, 1.
And another match point here for Georgia Johnson and Dylan Frazier to get themselves a spot in the gold medal match. He
Another
just wants
forehand
it so
put
bad.
away by Frazier that he leaves in the net, but he's got another chance right here. Still a relatively comfortable lead, but you certainly don't want
Yeah, you can't
take
leave
any
the door.
chances.
Can't leave the door open.
You saw Georgia come all the way
She- did
over
you
and
see her?
take
She
that
was
ball.
like,
She's
I
like,
got
you
it,
can't
Dylan.
finish it,
You
I'll
had
finish
3
it.
chances. It's my turn now. Wow, really great job from Georgia Johnson and Dylan Frazier. So they head to the gold medal match. Lee Whitwell and J.W. Johnson will head to bronze, where we have that final feeder match still to play. Alex Newman and Paris Todd will take on Anna Bright and James Ignatowicz. Possibly coming up next. We'll keep you guys posted. We'll be back with some more action. Don't go anywhere right after this. Welcome back to the Franklin Studio. Lauren McLaughlin here once again with Georgia Johnson and Dylan Frazier. This time they're heading to the gold medal match. I was just talking to you. This is the first time in a regular pro tournament that you have beaten JW in a match. First time. How does it feel?
That is correct. It feels the same day. It feels the same as every rec day because
That you just kill him? Is that what you're saying? You just beat him every time in rec? All right, you guys. Seemed like you handled them fairly easily. You looked like you were playing very aggressive, trying to get in there a lot, mix it up, keep them on our toes. What was the thought process coming into this match that got this result?
Yeah, well, first of all, I wouldn't say it was easy. That's a tough team, and they've gotten the better relatively. They've got the best of me plenty of times. So I've seen that team a few times. Georgia's obviously JW's sister, and I play with him, so we kind of know his game, but it works both ways too. But yeah, I was looking to step in there and get aggressive and then keep the ball in play and let Georgia do her thing as well, and it worked out.
Dylan had 3 match point opportunities he couldn't get done, so you had to step in and say, don't worry, I got this.
it was a poke and hope, poke and hope it doesn't come back.
All right, you guys are headed to gold. You're not quite sure who you have to face yet, but as you go to that gold medal match, is there going to be any thought process into just keep it the same, whatever's working, keep that going in that gold medal match?
I think right now, we'll talk about it later, but I don't know if there's anything major we need to change. Like we might make a few adjustments depending on how they come out and start playing, but I think we're good right now.
All right, well, congrats both of you into the gold medal match. You're going home with gold or silver regardless, but I'm sure gold is what you guys are looking for. So we'll see you in that match in just a little bit. You guys can rest, grab a little bite, enjoy this beautiful Bobby Riggs facility, and we'll be back. Alex Newman's trying to run into camera. All right, don't go anywhere, guys. We have more pickleball action still to come here at the SoCal Classic. The APP SoCal Classic is brought to you by Pickleball Central, the Pickleball Superstore, catering from beginners to pros. Yola, for the champion in you. SunMed, the official CBD sponsor of the APP. and Chavile, modern pickleball apparel that reminds people to be civil and play nicely. Welcome back. We have our final feeder match into bronze coming up next. Lauren McLaughlin here and Daniel Roditi. Courtside here at the APP SoCal Classic. We have Paris Todd and Alex Newman, who we have seen several times here today, but first-timers on the live stream on Championship Court. Excuse me. We have Anna Bright and James Ignatowicz. Also, first-time partnership for the two of them in this tournament. Anna Bright, fresh off of graduation last year at the University of California, Berkeley, where she played tennis, one of the highest recruited tennis players coming out of high school. was doing a little research. She actually left high school a year early, foregoing her senior year of high school to accept that position at Berkeley to play on the tennis team. And she said she was a little sad because she would have been the valedictorian her senior year.
Wow.
At graduation had she not left, but she did indeed leave early and had a very successful tennis career. James Ignatowicz, 21 years old, currently at Vanderbilt University. He did play tennis for a little while, but no longer does. And when I saw him in South Carolina for the first time ever, he told me he wasn't really going to be playing pickleball much. He did really well, but he had a summer internship at an investment bank. He was kind of going in that route. Since then, no longer.
Yeah.
No longer taking that internship and rocking the pickleball instead. So I think we all appreciate that he made that decision.
Yeah, we got some not just great athletes, but bright minds on the court
my
here.
goodness,
I mean, you got
absolutely.
Alex Newman going to Northwestern. You don't go to
know,
Northwestern
political
unless you're a
science
very
degree.
bright
My goodness.
person. So not just great athletes, but clearly very smart players, smart people.
Mm-hmm. So we've mentioned before, Todd and Newman also a first-time partnership here.
Yeah.
You may have noticed James Ignatowicz a little taller than everybody else. So he has that length and reach that's going to make him extra dangerous, not to mention just the raw talent he has.
Great singles player, so you know you're going to see some drives. Actually, all four of these players were at my club yesterday practicing, so they got to play a lot of rec games against each other. So I'm sure that is...
Ooh, Newman. It seems like from the beginning of the day when we first saw them to now, Newman has really ramped it up a little. It seems like he's building confidence. Their partnership is obviously working well, gaining that chemistry. And this is just one match to 15, so again, loser of this will be the fourth place finisher today, while the winner heads to bronze.
Yeah, great runs by both of them, regardless of the outcome here. But I'm sure, obviously, they want to get on the podium. So this is one of those matches right before the bronze, right? That you really, I mean, you want to win every match. But if you're just one step away from getting on the podium, it really does mean more.
Ooh, Paris Todd. What can't she do?
Well, that's a great shot there. Just wrong choice there by Ignatowicz.
4-1-2.
One of the things I love so much, especially about the APP Tour, is that we do see so many new partnerships, different people playing together. It's always kind of new and exciting. It's like, what's this tournament going to bring? Oh, they're playing with them. Like it's so fresh feeling every tournament.
I love it. You know, I think that's one of the things that I love about the APP. You do get to see some new faces, some new players. Yeah, that's not going to work. Easy put away for Todd. But I love that. I love just being able to see these up-and-coming players. And in a very real way, develop right before our eyes, right? Like we see them trying to, like, yeah, okay, so we're seeing Newman playing mixed for the second time, right? And having his first win. 6 months from now, we're going to be talking about that, how we look back at SoCal getting his first mixed doubles win and then seeing what he does from now, right? So that's so exciting.
Yep.
Great serve by Todd there, just inside that sideline.
Good attempt there from
Yeah.
Todd.
Yeah, and again, we see 4 players here on the court that maybe up to this point they've been more known for their singles play, but clearly incredible doubles players as they make that adjustment, which tends to take a little longer for doubles when you come from tennis. But they wouldn't be at this stage if they weren't good in doubles, right? They've made such a deep run, but they're probably up to this point have been known more for their singles.
Do you think a player is more dangerous when they are also a singles player, so they have that sort of dual ability? And certainly you need to have the fitness level to play singles. So do you think that kind of makes a player more well-rounded?
I may be biased because I
love
singles, but no, I think so. You know, I mean, there's certain shots that you're going to hit so many times in singles, like drives, that can only help. You know, they're not going to hurt you in doubles to have that option.
Yeah.
And certainly the stamina, the quickness, the movement, I think it can only help. I think it's an adjustment to realize I cannot play singles on the doubles court, but
such quick hands.
I think once you learn how to use your singles game on the doubles, it definitely can help.
4-7-2.
Yeah, that ball stays in. Great ball, great roll by Anna Bright.
I was just thinking as I watched this match that when this year started, I didn't know who any of these players were.
Yeah, that's
Like, isn't
pretty
that
amazing.
wild?
Pretty amazing.
We're, halfway through this year, and all 4 of these players, nobody knew their names
Right.
at the start of this year.
Well, and the fact that, it's one thing for maybe viewers to not know, but the fact that you didn't know, you being at every single tournament, that says a lot about
And of course,
the improvement they've made.
They have friends that are watching that, of course, have known them.
Certainly.
And
Yeah,
knew
yeah,
them. I just the larger public of pickleball did not know who these 4 players were at the beginning of this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's unbelievable. I think the growth in the last 6 to 9 months with the influx of talent and players coming in to pickleball has just been, it's blown my mind.
Right.
Like, it's so fantastic. I love it so much.
I met Paris maybe just 6 months ago at a tournament in Newport. Someone said, hey, you need to meet Paris. You need to work with her. She's new to pickleball. She can be good. And, and she was playing, I think she was playing 4-5 at that tournament.
Yeah.
This is like 6 months ago.
Yeah, yep.
And now
100%.
she's 4 singles titles, consecutive singles titles in pro singles, and clearly improving rapidly in doubles. So this is such an exciting time for the sport. Ball's long.
Nice leave there from
Yeah,
Bright.
good job by Bright anticipating that ball.
7-7-2.
Just
Ball is
wide
wide.
on
and
that
we have
line. Also, it sounded like Bright was calling a timeout.
I think
thought
they
I
said
heard it,
side
but-
out. I think.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
I know, I was like,
I was
and
about to say
then-
someone called a timeout, but think it was Linda Kirkpatrick, our referee, calling a side out.
I was going to say it's an interesting timeout if they were calling one because they're 1 point away from the end change,
Yes.
which is essentially a timeout.
Yeah,
but
you wait for that.
we see teams do that, though, because sometimes they don't want to let it, get away from them.
Right.
But so we have our end change.
Yeah. Especially you might see that timeout on a 7 if the sides make a big difference.
Yeah.
Right? And you're trying to get a lead before you switch sides. And so that's maybe a time when you might see someone call a timeout on 7 if you're switching at 8, if it's going to be a big difference on the in terms of the wind or the sun or any other aspect.
Let's see Ken Herman up there in the Chivile VIP lounge with Julie and Jack Johnson and all of the other lovely fans and spectators.
Mingling with the people over there.
I know, you gotta. Oh, Georgia Johnson, get a little hug from Dad. I just love seeing a whole family.
Yes.
Just playing a sport, supporting each other. Doesn't happen often, and certainly not in a lot of sports are you seeing like almost every member of the family playing.
I think that's one of the beauties of pickleball, that the whole family can play together, literally, grandma, grandpa, mom, dad, and son and daughter can all get on a pickleball court and have a great time together. Just a little late there by Todd coming around with that backhand. Got the ball she was looking for, but just a hair late.
9-7-2.
Ooh. Anna Bright, I think.
Anna Bright
was like,
hoping for a
why
little
did
more.
It take so long?
Hoping for some cheers from the crowd.
Newman, good defense there, but couldn't withstand, I think, the 5th overhead Bright was throwing at him there. Ooh, nice put away again. That's where height comes into your advantage so much. Been very close match so far on the scoreboard as we are working our way to 15. One of these teams heads to bronze. One will be our 4th place finisher. So with that, we are tied up at 9s. Looks like we have a cracked ball, and Todd joking that's why she missed it. She jokes about that, but that is a thing. That is a rule that if you have the ball checked after a rally is finished and the ball's cracked and that impeded your play and you felt like it was cracked or it made your shot funky, you do get to replay that.
Usually if the referee notices that it took kind of a weird bounce, then they'll check the ball and the referee may decide to replay that.
Yeah, it's not a for sure thing.
Right. It's a judgment call by the referee.
But it is a possibility.
Yes, absolutely. It doesn't hurt to ask, hey, the ball's cracked. Can you check that? But
and I think the players know whether or not it made any difference
absolutely.
to what they were doing.
Bright guessed right.
A lot on that.
Yeah, Bright guessed right. She knew that Newman was going to go for that angle overhead, and she guessed on it, but just a little late, even though she knew where it was going.
That switch that Bright and Ignatowicz did where Bright had to yell at him to go cover, that's where singles helps.
Absolutely.
Because he got his butt over there and he slid to do it, which you see him do in singles all the time. So he's got the mechanics to be able to get over there and hustle.
Right. Yeah, if my
Whereas
partner said
player,
you, I would have just said no.
You're like, no, I'm not. What are you talking about?
I would have said no.
You're like,
no, that's you.
That is nobody's getting
that. I'm not
that.
getting that.
Oh, wind picking up a little here now. some great defense here
Great
from both
defense.
Bright and Ignatowicz.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
And that does a lot just emotionally when you come basically in a point where you have no business winning it and you come out on top. It really emotionally is a great lift. That ball was probably going out.
A lot of fast-paced play here in this match. All right, Bright getting fired up.
The ball sails wide. You know, we notice Ignatowicz doesn't go for a big serve. He likes to kind of just loop it high and deep, which can be very effective. So for the viewers out, you don't have to have a high pace serve or a big spin serve
you don't have to do anything crazy
to be effective. He just chooses to put a lot of air under that ball, push it deep, which is what you want on a serve and a return. You want to get that ball high and deep to make your opponent come from deeper behind that baseline to try to get to that kitchen line.
Now we're having a timeout here from Todd and Newman. As I like to say, we're running out of runway here in this match, so it's getting down to every point being fairly critical.
Yep.
Every rally's going to matter at this point. And I think Todd and Newman, again, they're playing really well. They're just giving a few too many opportunities to Bright and Ignatowicz to be able to put some balls away and get maybe some putaways. They need to cut that out, not give them those chances.
Yeah, and then, you know, you saw a lot of excitement from an emotion from Bright. That's also time that you want to call timeout. She's kind of on a roll. She's excited, so you want to kind of try to tame that down a little bit.
Oh, well, that'll do it.
Worked out for him, yeah. Ignatowicz upset at himself, leaving the ball way too high.
They're up by 2, though.
11-9-2.
Ooh, that's a heat check if I ever saw one.
Yeah.
When you watch a shot, sometimes I watch that and I think to myself, what was he trying to do? What was the thought process there?
I mean, you're obviously aiming at a body, right? You're thinking, get it to them as quickly as I can. But, you know, most time on drives, you take a little bit of pace off of it and focus on keeping the ball low is more important than hitting it as hard as you can. Easier said than done. Sometimes the adrenaline gets the best of you. Yeah, good job by Todd getting the ball down at Bright's feet.
Yeah, I mean, I think every good coach is, you know, placement over power.
Right, right. I
That
teach
power
that. I
has
don't always
power
practice
has a place in the game as
Yes.
well, but if it's not going to let you put the ball where you need to put it, then you need to dial that down.
Right. Oh, great defense. Oh, almost identical to what we saw on the other side, right? With Bright and Ignatowicz going from defense to offense just a few points ago. Now Todd and Newman returned the favor going from defense and then being able to win that point.
I mean, we talked
tie it up.
about growth earlier, just seeing, you know, these players' arcs that they're having right now. I'm telling you right now, Alex Newman is having an arc right before my eyes today. Not in his career, today.
Right.
Who I saw him being in the first match that we saw them in. I think this is the 4th match we've seen them on the live stream. He's a different player in this 4th match than he started today. I can see Lee Whitwell up in the Chivile Lounge keeping a very close eye on this match because her and partner J.W. Johnson are going to play the winners of this match in our bronze medal match.
Coming off a little bit of, obviously, a disappointment there in the winner bracket final. Almost reset by Todd there. off of the big Ignatowicz forehand.
11-11-2.
Yeah, I haven't really seen too many errors like that from Newman these last couple matches. Certainly not in this one.
Oh, just a beautiful roll by
Such a
Todd.
great spot.
So
And that-
good.
I mean, that's the thing, too, at this level, when everyone's stacking all the time, if you can catch the partner that's coming up,
Right.
that has to return and then get themselves up to the kitchen line, it's a good spot.
And that was a great example, the previous point where you said placement over power, right? Todd just put that ball with enough spin down at Ignatowicz's feet.
And a lot of times we see players, they'll pull off the power and their opponents don't expect it.
Right.
They expect
It's
it
kind
to
of
be
an
coming
off-speed-
faster.
an off-speed
And then
ball.
they're thrown off.
Right. Kind of a misdirect, off-speed ball. All those can be really effective. Sometimes we see that on the speed-ups off of a low ball in the kitchen. Yep, Newman on that ball. Anticipating the ball over the middle and reading it well. See the replay here. He's on it and just jams,
nice spot.
jams bright.
And they take a 1-point lead as a result.
Wow, great match.
I mean, this is what it should be when you get down to the end of the bracket.
And now they're almost identical, but this time from Todd into Ignatowicz's hip.
Yeah, and we saw Todd not be as aggressive earlier in the day, but she's definitely ramping it up here.
Yes.
You know, didn't leave that for Newman. Just locked in, went over and took it.
That's the other adjustment, right, that we talked about previously when we were mentioning Georgia Johnson being aggressive is sometimes, you know, even as a male partner, I want my partner, if she's on a roll, to capitalize on her rhythm and capitalize on her aggressiveness and be able to, you know, take that ball that she's in rhythm. So it's a better ball for her to take, and we saw the example there, and great to see Todd not hesitate. She hasn't played a lot of mix either, you know. I mean, she doesn't have a ton of experience. So both of them making those adjustments. Yes, both of them making those adjustments with each other right here before our eyes. So that's fun to watch.
And again, almost at the conclusion of our final feeder match into the medal rounds, and then we will have just 2 matches remaining here in our Pro Mixed Doubles, bronze and gold. Ooh.
Just, yeah, Newman kind of hung that third, and he mentioned to me earlier that his drops weren't just not, he wasn't feeling them. That's why he was driving quite a bit on his thirds.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Todd falls down.
I mean, she's in the split. She
And
threw
then
the
Bride
ball.
just misses it long, and Bride throws her hands up in the air.
ESPN highlight point right
Wow.
there. What? I mean, she was like fully in the splits, and she had her weight in her heels, so there was no coming back from that. Unbelievable.
A little short on that, but it just
And then
almost
the
it
wind
just threw him
pulls it a
off.
little
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
It's
It
got a
was
little wind to
short,
his
and then
back.
the ball got pushed towards the net, and Ignatowicz not recognizing it quickly enough. His timing was thrown off. 2 points away here.
Yeah, and they're on first serve still, so Brighton Ignatowicz needs a couple.
Oh, that's an off speed.
Yeah,
That's kind of what we're talking about.
100%.
You were just saying that. He didn't quite, and I don't know if he meant to, but he didn't quite hit it as cleanly as maybe he would have liked. And both
Threw
of
him
them,
off. Yep.
both of them were ahead of that ball, swung before the ball was even there.
Match point here for Paris Todd and Alex Newman.
Well, she got what she
got another
wanted.
chance.
Yep, she got what she was looking for. Let's see what they do on this third. I'm curious to see if they're going to drive or drop. The last couple drops were a little high.
Yeah, I'd like to see him be real patient here, though, and wait.
Yeah, he goes for the drive. Yep. Yep.
Wow, really great match between these two teams. But Paris Todd and Alex Newman are into the bronze medal match against Lee Whitwell and J.W. Johnson. Anna Bright and James Ignatowicz. A great day for them as well. Fourth place finish. They'll go home with a little walk-in money and a good result for their first time partnering up here at the SoCal Classic. Don't go anywhere. We are into our medal rounds right after this. Welcome back to the Franklin studio. I'm here with Alex Newman and Paris Todd, you guys are feeling pretty good. Do you want to just tell the people what's going on with you right now?
First medal ever in pickleball. Did not think it was going to come in mixed doubles. So excited, very happy, pumped to have a great partner. Yeah, that's all I got.
I mean, we were talking about in the booth. Of course, you guys are first-time partners. You guys are not playing the same now as you were in the beginning of the day. It seems like
I can hit a third shot drop now. I didn't hit a single third shot drop for 2 matches, so that helped.
I mean, the first time we saw you versus this match, what's happened through this day that has led to this outcome?
I've had to give him a lot of coaching. No, I'm kidding. You know, I just feel like we have really good chemistry on the court, and we're playing good together, and we'll keep it going. So, yeah, we're excited.
Looks like Paris is getting a little bit more aggressive than maybe she was in the beginning. And sometimes with the new partnership, especially in mixed, you know, you defer to the guy a little bit more to get more aggressive. And it looks like she's ramped it up a little. You've ramped it up a little. You're into the bronze medal match. You have to take on Lee Whitwell and J.W. Johnson. What's going to be the success there?
Well, my grandma is watching the live stream, and it's her birthday, so my only goal is to make her have a fun time. We already played them once. I think we know what to do, so we'll go out and do our best, see what happens.
I mean, it didn't go your way the first time, but did you guys talk about now that you know, or will you talk about now that you know who you're playing, what's going to be different from that first time to this time?
No secret, just everything at J-Dub all day, just light them up.
Yeah,
everything is J-Dub.
Yeah, everything. So that's
Lee told us it was a first-time partnership for the two of them, so they're still figuring out some stuff. So it's a good strategy.
Yeah,
I like
definitely.
it. I like it. All right, well, congrats. Do you have something?
The number of hours between us playing pickleball together and them playing pickleball is a big gap.
I
So.
mean, you guys are doing pretty good, though. You're hanging in there. That was an awesome match. I'm excited to see you guys in this bronze medal match. Congrats, first medal ever, so let's make it a good one. We'll see you guys shortly. Go take a little rest, have a chat, and we're back into the action in our medal rounds here at the SoCal Classic right after this.
If you like to dink, then Pickleball Magazine has what you're looking for. Our bi-monthly print publication will help you become a better player with instructional tips, drills, and articles from the top teaching pros in the sport. And you'll become a healthier, stronger player with psychological, nutritional, and wellness advice from experts in their fields. Finally, if it's product reviews or the latest news, we have that too. To learn more or to subscribe today, go to pickleballmagazine.com.
If SoCal has you wondering, where do I begin? Start here. Cheering for the visiting team? Here's your line of scrimmage. Come for a culinary odyssey? Tonight's special is everything. Here for work? Hang around for the weekend. Hit 3 theme parks. Crush coffees or crafty beers or whatever strikes your fancy. Because with friendly locals, Main Street vibes, easy accommodations, and all of SoCal within reach, no matter what you've come to get up to, in El Segundo, we'll invite you to start here.